Hello, everybody. Happy Sunday, and may the 4th be with you. That's right. Today is Star Wars Day, May the 4th, which is always a bit of fun. I'm sure there's lots of people playing Star Wars games today, but we have got a monumental task ahead of us after over 50 hours. I believe today is stream number 14, and like a couple of months, we are finally gonna beat Avowed. This has been, the game that's sort of taken up the chunk of stream time over the past little while. I've enjoyed every second of it, and I'm so excited to see how it all comes to a close today. So that's right, today is the grand finale of Avowed here on the stream. I've got an idea of what's gonna happen. I mean, obviously we're gonna have to confront Sopadal, the god that's been speaking to us over the entirety of our journey, and make a choice on how we're going to deal with her. And I'm sure it's going to be real dramatic. So very, very excited to be finishing Avowed with you guys today. I hope your weekend has been going well. Euro says, oh shit, it is May 4th. I hadn't realized yet. Yes, today is May the 4th. I know a lot of Star Wars people really celebrate May the 4th. I love Star Wars as much as the next nerd, but it's not a day that I necessarily celebrate or anything. I don't do anything out of the ordinary, but I figured I'd at least wear my Star Wars shirt for the day. It only makes sense, right? Plus, I had to put the guns out. TS says I just revel in the memes. I mean, honestly, that's a good way to celebrate any day, be it May the 4th or be it a Monday. Memes usually get you through no matter what you're looking at. Speaking of hello, Euro, hello, TS. I hope you guys are doing well. It's good to see you both, as always. I hope your weekend has been going well so far. I've had a very, very productive weekend, actually. Today was like the first sort of unofficial day of summer, or first unofficial weekend of summer, I guess, here in Calgary. It's been absolutely beautiful, around 25 degrees every single day. So yesterday we did a lot of sort of our spring maintenance. We had to do so much crap for our car. We had to get our summer tires on. We had to get our oil changed. We had a crack in our windshield we had to get fixed. We got the car detailed because it was so dirty after all winter. So we spent like all yesterday running around doing like car related errands. And then we came back in the evening and tried to clean our balcony a bit. As you can imagine, a balcony gets pretty dirty after all winter. And we live, unfortunately, right next to a construction site as well. So the amount of like dirt and dust on our balcony is so bad. So we managed to get like a good first clean last night. We've got to clean all the patio furniture now and sort of like mop everything and wipe it down. But the TLDR is it's been a lot of spring cleaning, if you will, for me this weekend. But it's so much easier to do chores when the weather is actually nice. There's nothing worse than you're going out on a dreary, cold, rainy day to run around and do chores. It's a lot easier to do, at least in my opinion, when the sun is shining and it's really nice and sunny outside. And I think a lot of people took the opportunity to go out of town, to go to the mountains, to go to the park, wherever. So there actually weren't that many people on the roads either, which was very helpful. But yeah, long and short of it is it's been a busy but productive weekend for me. So I'm glad to kind of take it down a notch today and relax and play some video games, As an aside, I'm watching Counter-Strike on the side, so apologies if I'm a little quiet. Oh, of course, no need to apologize. I hope the Counter-Strike matches are good today. I know you're an avid Counter-Strike viewer, so I hope your team is winning, son. So yeah, we'll be finishing Avowed today, and then tomorrow we'll be back with some more blueprints, which is slotting into kind of our Monday slot moving forward. We started blueprints last week and it was so good. It absolutely hooked me. So I cannot wait to play some more blueprints tomorrow. If you guys haven't seen blueprints, it's a roguelike puzzle game, which is a lot of fun, and we'll be playing that on Mondays moving forward. Euro says, I helped my mom clean up her beard yesterday, but mostly just Oblivion for me this weekend. And I was going to be like, oh, that's a really nice thing for you to help your mom with. But autocorrect swooped in to save the day. It was supposed to be clean up her yard yesterday. Honestly, that's a very funny autocorrect right there, Euro. I mean, you're a good son no matter if you were helping your mom clean up her yard or her beard, but it perhaps makes a little more sense that you were helping her clean up her yard. But okay, it sounds like you've been doing a lot of spring cleaning chores this weekend as well. So good to know that's sort of a worldwide thing. I mean, the first weekend of May, you have to hope wherever you are in the northern hemisphere that, you know, spring is in full swing, if you will, and yards and beards need tending. So sounds like we had a similar weekend. How have you been enjoying the Oblivion remaster? I've seen so many people playing it. I'm gonna have to check it out at some point myself. I think I mentioned I don't want to overwhelm myself with too many open world RPGs, and obviously we're finishing Avowed right now. But Oblivion is certainly something I want to play either personally or maybe on the stream later in the year, because it has been a long time since I played Oblivion, so it would be really fun to revisit it, and I've heard that the remaster is really good. Euro says it's been amazing. Good! I'm so glad to hear you're enjoying it. I'm really glad. And honestly, I love the whole concept of sort of like a shadow drop, because there's nothing worse than when a game gets announced too early. Elder Scrolls 6. You know, it's like, I would honestly prefer to hear nothing about a game and then get an announcement and be like, yeah, it's dropping next week or today. Yeah, or GTA 6 as well. You know, like, it's just, I would much rather things stay quiet and then don't even tell us about it until it's ready. What they did with the Oblivion Remastered project, I thought was fantastic. Now, unfortunately, it did leak, so we knew about it a couple of weeks in advance. But for the most part, it was like we found out and then it was out. And it was nice. It was kind of refreshing, if you will, in a world where we hear about games such as Elder Scrolls 6 or GTA 6 way too early, in my opinion. Hey, Surfiner, may the 4th be with you as well. I'm looking forward to playing a poorly optimized port of GTA 6 in 2028. I heard a rumor, and obviously that's all this is a rumor, that the reason GTA 6 just got delayed till next year is because they want to launch the console and PC versions at the same time. I have nothing to verify that rumor. It's literally just word of mouth. But it seemed logical to me because the success of GTA 5 on PC especially, I feel like is perhaps spurring Rockstar to be like, I think it all needs to be ready on the one go. Tiff has inside sources confirmed. I wish I had an inside source, but unfortunately all I have is, you know, rumor mongers on Reddit. But yeah, I mean, it seemed logical to me, but we'll see. I'm sure you guys have seen by now GTA 6 did get delayed out of this year. It is now releasing, I believe it's May 26th, 2026, so almost exactly 1 year from now. It officially makes... I saw this as well. The time between GTA 5 and GTA 6 is now going to be longer than the time between GTA 1 and GTA 5, which is crazy. So they released GTA 1, GTA 2, GTA 3, GTA San Andreas, GTA Vice City, GTA 4 and its expansions, and GTA 5, all within a shorter time frame than it's taken us to get GTA 6, which is crazy. And hey, I'm always an advocate for please take your time and release a game when it's ready. The last thing we want is a buggy game, right? Absolute last thing we want. But to echo what I said earlier, take your time on a game, but just don't even announce it until it's ready, because otherwise it turns into this, right? Absolutely, please take your time, release a perfectly optimized, polished game, but please don't announce it 10 years in advance. You know what I mean? Because otherwise it just feels like we're getting dragged along, and it's frustrating. Now, the thing about Rockstar is they do have a penchant for releasing really quality games. You know, look at Red Dead Redemption 2, for example. That game was also in development for a long time. It got delayed a lot, but in the end, it's like maybe one of the best games of all time. So, like, I expect great things from GTA 6, and I have a feeling Rockstar will deliver, which is fantastic. But again, I wish they had just said nothing and then was like, surprise, GTA 6 is launching next week, like that would be better rather than us being like, this is taking a while. Hi, Kirky, good evening. How are you? Happy Sunday. They also remastered Red Dead Redemption 1 and launched Red Dead Redemption 2 in between that. I mean, they barely remastered Red Dead Redemption 1. They absolutely did create and launch Red Dead Redemption 2, and obviously. And I don't think they even started production on GTA 6 until they finished Red Dead Redemption 2, which realistically means they haven't been spending as much time on GTA 6 as you would think. But yeah, I mean, that remaster of Red Dead Redemption 1 wasn't really a remaster. It was basically just re-releasing it on modern platforms for full price, which didn't love. But anyway, to those people who never got to play Red Dead Redemption 1 because it was locked to the Xbox 360 and PS3 generation of consoles, I'm glad. Yeah, but it was basically a PC port, so. But yeah, anyway, we'll see how it goes. Regardless, that means all the games that are coming out in 2025 can breathe a sigh of relief, because I don't think anyone wants to release in the same calendar year as GTA 6. So I'm sure now a lot of game developers may even try to get their games out this year to avoid GTA 6. So anyway, we'll see how it all goes. I know for me, some games that I'm really excited about coming out in the fall should have a little bit more breathing room now, such as Ghost of Yotai. That has got a release date for, I believe it's October 2nd. So excited. I loved Ghost of Tsushima so much. So that's a huge game that I'm looking forward to coming out this fall. I'm really looking forward to the new Pokemon game that's coming out this fall. The Fable reboot, reimagining, whatever you want to call it, is presumably still on track for later this year as well. So I think there's still going to be lots of good games coming out in 2025, even though GTA 6 has been pushed out of this year. Did we have a release date for Witcher 4 yet? No, we didn't. I think they might have said 2027 was what they were looking for. It's not anytime soon. It's not this year. But I don't think they've given us a concrete date. If it does land in a GTA year, I would think it would be the end of 2026. It seems like it's still pretty early in development. How come I've never played Fallout 3? We actually tried to play Fallout 3 on stream a long time ago, and I could not get it to run on my PC. Unfortunately, it's one of those old games which do not run optimally on modern machines. So I actually wasn't able to get Fallout 3 to work, and it just wasn't a game that I played back when it came out. So Fallout 3 is one I have never played. We did manage to play Fallout New Vegas on stream though, which was so fantastic. And from what I've heard, Fallout New Vegas is better than Fallout 3 anyway. So, but yeah, something's weird with Fallout 3. It just doesn't run quite so well. I mean, it has been a few years since I've tried to run it. Maybe we could try it again at some point, but I do remember trying to play a Fallout 3 around about the time we finished New Vegas because of how much I love New Vegas, but unfortunately it just wasn't working out for me. Speaking of games, so this week's super exciting. We're beating Avowed today. We're going to start Blueprints, or continue Blueprints tomorrow. We actually started it last week. And then this week, we've got a special stream slotted in. This coming Thursday, May the 8th, is my birthday. I'm taking the day off work, and we're going to have a birthday stream on Thursday. So hopefully some of you guys will be able to make it. I'm really looking forward to it. We're going to hang out and have a good time, and we're going to play a game that's been on my radar forever, but I've never gotten around to playing. It's called Planet of Lana. I don't know if any of you guys have seen it before.
May 8th, as it would be called.
Hey, MK, how are you? Thank you so much for the resub. 90 months. Holy shit. Are we throwing a party at 100? I think we have to, because that's incredible. 90 months. Thank you very much, MK. Enjoy your sub badge, ad-free viewing, emotes, all that good stuff. May the 4th be with you today. Happy Sunday. But yeah, Planet of Lana, it's an indie game that came out, I want to say it was 2 years ago now. I saw it for the first time, I believe it was at the Game Awards. I believe, my memory is not the clearest on this, but I'm pretty sure we streamed the 2022 Game Awards, and they showcased this game. It ended up coming out in May 2023. And I was like, oh my God, we need to play this game. If you guys were, well, first of all, you know how much I love animals, and especially cute animals. But you also may have seen my The Last Guardian streams, which was like one of the most beautiful games I've ever played. Planet of Lana seems to be almost an indie take of The Last Guardian. You're a small boy with a cute little animal friend, and you go on an adventure. It's sort of like a puzzle side-scroller platformer type of game. Apparently, it only takes about 4 to 5 hours to beat, so it should be kind of a good game to play in one setting. And it looks just really beautiful. The art looks fantastic. I have a feeling I'm going to cry. If anything happens to the little cat-like creature, it's probably going to ruin my birthday. But I think it's going to be great. So that's what we're going to be playing on Thursday for my birthday stream, is Planet of Lana, a little one-off stream there on Thursday to celebrate the big 3-1. Honestly, I should probably get one of you guys to look up and see if anything happens to your animal in Planet of Lana, because maybe if that cute little critter dies at the end of the game and I ruin my birthday, I'm gonna be pissed. Maybe I might get Elena to Google it so I don't get spoilers for myself. I want to be like, Planet of Lana, does the cute cat thing die in the end? Because if it does, we might have to change gears a little bit. But the one thing I do not want for my birthday this year is trauma, so. Gerky says, new game releases have completely fallen off my radar. The only news I'm keeping an eye out on is Ace Combat 8 and Ultron's release in Rivals. I mean, we've been talking about this in Discord, and it's a very common discussion right now, but more than ever, you kind of have to be picky and choosy when it comes to new game releases due to the price of games. You know, you can't just pick up games or full price AAA games on a whim anymore, because like if you hate it, it's $100 down the drain. You know, like it's not like, you know, it's like, oh, it's only $30. If I hate it, it won't be bad. Like, game prices are getting insane. The Nintendo Switch 2 game prices in Canada, the MSRP for the new Mario Kart is $110. Like, holy crap. It is so expensive. It's probably just going to get more expensive. It feels like every other day there's a new headline that so-and-so are increasing their game prices. So unfortunately, it is quite limiting for just wanting to try out games. You know, I'm definitely going to be waiting for reviews on stuff. There's very few things I'm going to buy day one unless I'm like convinced it's going to be good, right? Because like, it's too expensive to gamble on new games at this point, right? Like, it's unfortunate, but hopefully it allows indie games to flourish, or, you know, AA games such as Expedition 33 to flourish, because AAA is almost like pricing itself out. Unless you know it's going to be a banger, I have a feeling people are going to be more hesitant on buying AAA games now. Hey, Rector. Rector says, all I'm going to say is, yo ho ho. Euro says, do you want to know if you're safe or not? I do, honestly. If you could tell me if anything happens to that cute little animal in Planet of Lana, because if it does, we might have to change my birthday plans, because I can't cry on my birthday. Like, I can cry of, like, love and cuteness, but I can't cry of, like, emotional trauma on my birthday. So if you could, like, kind of give me the thumbs up if we're good to play Planet of Lana, that might be good, so I can pivot if needed. Tia says, I've already been hesitant to buy AAA on release because of how varied the quality has been, and I'll be even more so with the price increases. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. It's, and, you know, it's not even like I hear people in counter argument have said, well, in the 90s, games were about $100 a pop. And I totally agree. Like, that's a fact. And I remember only getting 1 or 2 games a year when I was a kid. There's a reason I played so much Pokemon, is because I could only get a new game on my birthday or at Christmas. However, I think what people aren't factoring in was the availability of rentals. Most of the games I played as a kid were rentals. I would go to Blockbuster, we would pay $5, I would get a game for the entire weekend. That's not an option anymore, right? So yes, I admit the games are sort of getting back to the price that they were in the 90s. But at the same time, they feel more limited than they ever did. There's also features, such as always online, account locking, region locking. It's just like all this crap, and then you can't go to a Blockbuster and pick up a game anymore. Things are just feeling more restrictive than ever before, which really, really sucks. That's exactly what I did with Diablo 4. I've waited for about 10 years, and it came out with a $70 price tag, and I waited, and it turned out to be a shit game. Oh, well, at least you waited. For reference, I think one of the last games I bought on day zero was Cyberpunk. I ended up loving it anyway, but fuck me, did it erode away confidence in AAA. I mean, Cyberpunk is like a case study, if you will, for AAA games getting overhyped and released way too soon, right? And they fixed Cyberpunk. They did. Shout out to CD Projekt Red. They fixed it, but it took time, and it was disappointing on launch, and that's how it is. I DM'd you to spare any sort of spoiler for those in chat. Okay, thank you, Euro. I'll check that out after stream. Appreciate it. I would say the only AAA studio I can think of that I'll trust to make a complete quality product is Rockstar. Say what you will about recycling GTA 5 for years or that shitty definitive edition they outsourced, but their first party stuff as infrequent as they are as quality stuff. Yeah, I totally agree. There are very few devs that I will sort of like buy on release. Rockstar is one of them. Insomniac has been another one for me lately. They've been killing it, Insomniac. Honestly, Obsidian is a developer that I trust to put out good AAA games on release. The fact that I have to think this hard, those might be the only three that I like trust to consistently put out good games at this point. Valve, every 10 years or so when they put out a game. The new Spider-Mans are amazing. I can't recommend them enough. They are absolutely fantastic games. Resident Evil 6 was my last pre-order mistake. And I mean, it totally depends, right? Like, those are developers that not only that I trust, but also put out games that I'm interested in, right? Like, I'm sure there's other studios, like Rector's ID Software. I see Phoenix's Paradox. Those are really games I don't really play much. So it obviously comes down to preference as well. But yeah, it feels like few and far between you kind of get those studios that you really trust, like... Yeah, everyone buys Ubisoft day one. Everyone buys EA day one. Like, you can trust every $100 game those two put out is just going to be bangers, right? But anyway, I don't mean to moan and groan too much. It is what it is. We'll vote with our wallets. Hopefully people will, and hopefully it will make a difference. And if not, we just need to be more selective in the games that we do choose to play. That's the long and short of it, right? Anywho, I did see that there was a NVIDIA driver update, and everyone knows after I update my drivers, Avowed takes 10,000 years to generate shaders. So let's make sure we get that started, because that's probably going to take us like 5 minutes, so we can continue to bemoan about the state of the world while Avowed is generating its shaders here. It tickles me that a bunch of people said, fuck Ubisoft, we're going to bounce and make our own studio and game. And then they put out fucking Expedition 33. I am so happy that Expedition 33 is doing so well. It just feels like it did everything right. It's a new IP. It's very different. It's by a small or an indie studio. It comes out of France, which is somewhere different that we don't normally see a lot of game development. It's just like everything I've heard about that game has been fantastic and feels like it's exactly what we need in the industry right now. It's not even a full price game. They sold it for $50 and everyone's like, it's game of the year. I haven't gotten to Expedition 33 yet. I think I told you guys I've been saving it for my birthday. So my birthday's on Thursday, so I took Thursday and Friday off stream or off work, sorry. So I find it weird if you take Thursday off to have to go back on Friday for just one day. So I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna take a long weekend. And I've been saving Expedition 33 to sit down on my days off and just play. So I'm very, very excited to finally get to Expedition 33 later this week, because all I've heard are fantastic things about it. And yeah, it just feels like what we need at this point in the industry, right? It's the same story as Hi-Fi Rush for me. Granted, Tango Gameworks already had a few games under their belt, but the fact that they shadow dropped the most fresh piece of peak software. I never played Hi-Fi Rush, but that's a game that I heard so much positive stuff about. Maybe that's something we'll have to check out at some point. It's good? Yeah, okay. Maybe we'll add that to our radar. It feels like a very different type of game too, which is nice. You know, I like to call them palate cleansers, right? Like, we play a lot of RPGs here, but every now and then I like to mix in some other stuff. Like Blueprints feels like a good palate cleanser for me right now. I feel like Hi-Fi Rush might be another one of those. Yeah, that's right. I forgot Microsoft actually closed down Tango Gameworks, didn't they? That's just like capitalism and corporate greed at its finest. It's all about numbers. If the game doesn't make X amount of dollars, doesn't matter how good it is, right? And the frustrating thing is the corporate mentality of numbers have to always go up. So it's like if Hi-Fi Rush comes out, it sells 5 million copies. They're like, perfect. The next game, though, has to sell 6 million copies or it's a failure. Numbers can never stay the same or dip slightly. If it's not constantly up, it's a failure. And that's just, society doesn't work like that. And unfortunately, it's the direction that every corporation takes, and the mentality and the mindset of every CEO. And there's going to come a point that the numbers can't go any higher, and everything just comes crashing down. It's extremely, extremely frustrating. But I mean, that's a whole other conversation about capitalism that we don't necessarily need to get into today on this cozy RPG Sunday. The board of directors have to afford their yearly yachts, you know. Well, exactly. They can't afford to stay on land. But anywho, I hope everybody is having a great weekend. I was saying earlier, it is very sunny. It feels like the first real weekend of spring or summer here where I'm at. So hopefully you guys are having some nice weather as well, or even if you're not, you're still having a good weekend. I'm very excited to be here today to finish Avowed, a game that I did really enjoy and that I do not regret paying full price for. If you're looking for recommendations on games to drop your money, Avowed is a 9 out of 10 recommendation for me. It's not a perfect game. I mean, very rarely do you come across perfect games, but it is a really, really solid game, and I absolutely recommend it for people who enjoy open world fantasy RPGs. We've been loving this game over the past couple of weeks that we've been playing it. We've got about 50 hours of playtime into it, and today we're going to wrap everything up, which is always exciting. After putting so much time into such a long journey like Avowed, it does feel good to sort of get to the conclusion and finally see all those threads that you've been pulling finally pull together. I'm very excited to see how everything's going to wrap up. I have a feeling we have some really big choices ahead of us. And yeah, it should be really good. So let's load in here now that the shaders are done generating. I'm hanging in a TIFF stream, so I'd say my day's going pretty fucking well. Hell yeah, Rector, thank you. It's been storming like a motherfucker here, but I love stormy weather, so... I mean, stormy weather is also a perfect excuse to play video games, so honestly, not even a bad thing. Finishing a game can definitely feel bittersweet. I'm trying to look at it as exciting right now, but I'm sure once I close the stream later and like kind of sit back, it'll definitely feel bittersweet to know that our Avowed journey is over. But until then, we're gonna have lots of fun. Let's check in with where we're at. So we're at the main story. Our dreams divide us still. After using the Akedan device we found in Naku Kabel to decipher the location of the garden, the time has come to enter Galloween's tusks and find the path to Sapadal's prison. And that's what we did. Obviously, it was not a straightforward path. We had to speak to a bunch of different people, the Dwarven Council, the Steel Garrote. We finally found another path to the garden, and at long last, it's time to go there. So this is the point of no return. This is where we ended off last weekend. Because when you go up to this door, it gives you the message, hey, this is the point of no return, which is nice. I really like when games include that to give you the heads up. So that's why we finished where we did last weekend, because I thought it would make more sense for us to do the finale sort of in one fell swoop. My understanding is it'll take us 2 or 3 hours to get through the ending, so it'll be, you know, a good stream length. But here we are, the location that we've been hunting for dozens of hours. All the quests, everything that's happened, it's all led to this. We finally found the mythical garden where the god Sapadal is imprisoned. We're going to go there and we're going to decide what we do with that god. I do wish to proceed. Let's enter the garden. But yes, I do have my tiny little Fisto wand. It's fantastic. I love it.
Well, this is it, I guess. Feels very different from the last time I left Galloween's tusks. I will say, it's nice to look out and see Solace still standing. Thanks for that.
I couldn't just watch another settlement burn.
Me neither. I guess it never gets any easier.
Solace is still standing. And so are you. We're in this together.
Just so you know, Kai, it's starting to sound like you like me.
If you happen to need a reminder, do let us know. Brooding in silence can be quite the mood killer.
Not to spoil the moment with good news, but I doubt the rest of the island has been quiet while we've been looking for the garden. Things have only gotten more tense since Fior, and the Steel Garrote probably hasn't been doing us any favors on that front.
Our friend was able to talk some sense into their leader, though. Hopefully, that will last.
I wouldn't be so hopeful about that. I don't think there's any talking sense into that monster.
We'll still have an empire bearing down on us.
I mean, to be honest, yeah, I don't even know which choice to pick. We'll go with my arcane scholar background and say, an island ripe for study, and instead we're just going to argue about who owns it. Ringrim was right to leave, to be honest.
Who knew an archmage could be so relatable?
Can't say I'm too excited about just walking into the garden. I grew up learning I needed to protect that place, but it never felt like more than a children's tale to me.
I hear you. This island is weird enough when all we have to worry about are vengeful plans and soul-altering corruption.
Am I the only one who's looking forward to the garden? We're pioneers, stepping into the great unknown, a land of mystery.
I mean, I'm looking forward to it.
Remember to love them in spite of their lack of proper enthusiasm, dearie.
Look, I'm excited, but, you know, we will be the first to enter the garden in ages.
Can you imagine? An untouched spiritual wilderness just waiting for us. I have a theory about the garden, or a warning, depending on how you want to look at it. Sapadal has been imprisoned a long time. The garden will be a reflection of their dreams, their nightmares, their madness.
I wouldn't be surprised if we saw visions or hallucinations, and not even the fun kind.
Great. So you're saying there's a chance we'll all become raving lunatics?
Sanity won't get us through the garden. Madness opens the mind to discovery. So madness is what we need right now. Before we go any further, I have to ask you something. You told the Inquisitor that you intend to kill Sapadal. Is that still the plan?
Unless anyone has a better idea.
For once, I'm all out of ideas. Anyone else?
I'm a soldier. I prefer leaving these decisions to people like you, but if you're asking for input, I don't entirely disagree with Ludwig on this. She may be a monster, but she's not the only one the Living Lands has seen. Sopadal could render this whole island as barren as the tusks in a fit of anger.
Zapadal caused the Dream Scourge. All of this pain. I don't think I can forgive that. Especially after seeing Iancu. I just can't let that go.
Think of what we could learn from Sapadal. Perhaps there's a way we can keep everyone alive.
Sapadal is responsible for the spiritual health of the living lands, and the island has suffered for it. No matter what the Inquisitor said, I don't believe there's a right or wrong choice to make here. Just the one you believe in.
Well, that doesn't help. That doesn't make the choice any easier. I was kind of hoping, someone would be like, ah, yes, I know the exact right thing to do. Here you are. Basically, the only concrete answer I have at this point is we cannot let Sopadal just go free. That is the only thing I'm 100% sure about. We've seen Sopadal time and time again basically lash out, have a tantrum, and kill hundreds, thousands, if not millions of people as a result. We very often refer to Sopadal as a petulant child because that's basically what this god is. It just throws tantrums and destroys the land and the people around it. And then it's like, oops, didn't mean to do that. And it's like, okay, I can believe you that you didn't mean to do that. But that does not change the fact that you did it and you continue to do it. We've seen it in history. Sopadal has time and time again lashed out and just killed a bunch of people. So the one thing that I'm 100% certain about is we're not just letting Sopadal go free. Do we have to kill Sopadal? Maybe, probably. Is there a third option? Maybe, hopefully. But yeah, the only thing I'm 100% certain on is we can't just let her go free with, no restrictions, right? Hey Kev, how are you? Happy Sunday. Welcome to the finale of Avowed. After 50 hours and a long journey through the living lands, we're finally getting to the grand finale today. And it's all going to come down to that decision. What do we do with Sopadal? And I guess when the time comes, we're going to have to make a decision. Rector says, so what you're saying is the one thing we need in this party is a licensed therapist. It's so funny you say that because I actually talked about that last stream, Rector. I was like, if we could get option C and somehow put this god into therapy and give them maybe like a legal guardian to like watch over them and like help them make decisions, I think I would choose that route, actually. I've got a feeling though, unfortunately, that god therapy is not available, and so it's probably going to be a linear decision of kill Sopadal or let her free. But if we could get option C where we put Sopadal into therapy and give them a legal guardian, I would pick that option. But, we'll see how it goes. New band name unlocked, God Therapy. Now that would be metal as hell. TS says, I for one believe in burning the motherfucker down. Whew. I mean, we'll see how it goes, right? Any more words of wisdom for me, guys?
Just one. Remember, we're stepping into a realm that is both physical and spiritual in nature. If you can call it nature. There's no telling how long we'll be gone. For all we know, time could run backwards in the garden.
Interesting. I never even considered that. What if we go into the garden and then step out and it's like 10 years later? Because we're in some sort of time vortex. Oh, God. Well, I mean, we have to do it no matter what, so that's just the risk we run, I suppose. Does anyone feel like turning back? This may take a while.
Not a chance. We're a crew now, so you're stuck with me until the end. Marius?
I told you I'd be with you till the end. I don't go
Oh,
back
my
on
water
my
bottle's
promises.
leaking.
What about you, Giada?
You're not going into the garden without me. I have to see this with my own eyes. Yatsley, if you feel like running back to Quilici, now would be the time. No one would think less of you.
And tell Quilici that I missed out on the most exciting part.
Tiff interviewing God for therapy. So spiders. Why? Yeah, I don't think I'd be a very good God therapist, because I would be like, I've got issue with some of the things you've done. First and foremost, why did you make arachnids? I mean, going through, as I've said many, many times, this is a fantastic RPG, and I recommend it. It's It's got a beautiful world, a very interesting lore and backstory to it. You've had some great companions, a good story. The combat is top tier. It's beautiful to look at. The one issue I've had with the game, though, is the unfortunate limitations surrounding a lot of the major choices. And this is not an issue that's unique to Avowed. It's present in many video games. But unfortunately, at many points in Avowed, you're asked to make a decision, which I love. I love making choices in games. And I love seeing when the choices have actual impacts and consequences. The issue I have with Avowed, though, is so far all of the choices have been black and white. It's been A or B. There's no C, even when it feels so apparent there should be a C. It's like you choose either you like kill everyone or you save everyone. There's no like in between. And that has frustrated me on a number of occasions, the binary nature of the choices. And I have a feeling it's going to come down to that for Sopadol as well. It's going to be either release Sopadol or kill Sopadol, when it's like, again, it's silly, but it's like, we could have option C, God therapy, you know? We need a green option. Yes, all we're getting is red and blue. I need one more option at least. So that has been my sticking point with the game. It has been a little frustrating. Who knows? Maybe the game will surprise me and give me some sort of third option in the end. But yeah, that has been a complaint that I've had. And it's one thing when you're in a situation and it appears clear there is only two choices. That I can swallow, but there's been so many instances where it's just been like so obvious that there's at least another option and we just can't make that choice. You know, like it's frustrating. But anyway, we won't bemoan that before we see what happens. Let's see. I'm gonna say thank you, everyone. I don't say that enough. I'm happy we've got this group together, and I appreciate you following me on this crazy journey.
And you don't have to. We pull together, and that's plenty.
I plan on wandering the garden whether I'm traveling with you or not. I have to find out what the big deal is.
Agreed. I'm not waiting in camp while the rest of you have all the fun. Hope to see you out there, Marius.
Well, let's go then. We can't keep your god waiting.
Alrighty, I guess we'll check in with everyone here in camp for one last time, see if anyone has any final words, if you will.
So, this is it. The spiritual epicenter of the living lands, where it all began.
Hey, Beast. I love how you came in and immediately
looked out on a horizon full
just
of
got modded.
possibilities. Now that it's here, I'm too scared to breathe. Oh, why am I so anxious?
I mean, because we're about to do something incredible. We're about to go stand face to face in front of a god.
I suppose you're right. I'm frightened, I'm excited. I'm a lot of things right now. Do you remember when Manto Pastor sent you after the heart of an Adragan?
That was a long time ago, yes. That was back to power his invention in Fjord.
That was nothing compared to this. We are standing in the beating heart of the living lands. Just imagine.
How you doing
what we
today,
can do
Beast?
with
Happy
it.
Sunday. I mean, honestly, we don't have much time to decide. We're sort of up against a ticking time bomb here, and we need to put a stop to Sopadol before she kills everyone.
And only one chance to get it right.
You just woke up from a nap?
Parents
Nice.
were going to
That's a
build
good
better
Sunday
world for
activity.
animancers. That dream was their legacy to me. You and I have come farther than they did. To an impossible place where anything can happen. Anything.
I mean, hey, you get to decide what to do with your life. The past has no say in the matter.
I'll try to remember that. I don't know what's going to happen, but you've had my back since the beginning. I won't forget it.
Do you know any stories about the garden?
Well, that depends. I know a few spooky stories about the living lands. They may or may not have anything to do with the garden.
Spooky stories? Wait a minute. I'm ready. I want a spooky story.
Okay. But if something goes bump in the night, I'm waking you up.
Ooh.
Let me think of a good one.
Ooh.
There are so many, I can't decide.
Spooky.
Which do you want to hear first? I know one about a ranger's dream, one about a haunted well, and one about a golden city.
I want to hear about the haunted well.
Once upon a time, a young girl left town to fetch water from the local well. After pulling up the rope, she discovered the head of a Delimgan, one of the tree folk, staring at her from the bucket. "Return me to my grove," it said, "and I will grant you 3 wishes." So she carried the head into a peaceful clearing and sat it down on a tree stump. First, she wished for long life. The head granted her wish. Second, she wished to be impervious to a sword blade. Granted. And finally, she wished to know what happens after we die. No one ever saw her again. All they found was an Adra pillar in the middle of a clearing, next to an old stump.
Honestly, that wasn't spooky enough for me. I think Kirky's story is a lot spookier. Kirky says, and then they said, prices start at $80. Woo! That's a lot scarier of a story, honestly. But yeah, I don't know if you guys have seen Rory's streams. Rory actually streams like this. He streams with the lights off, with a cell phone light brightening up his face. So if you ever want this full time, go see Rory's stream. I just figured we'd set the mood for these scary stories here. The hand crawled slowly across the duvet towards the sleeping girl. Oh, that's actually scary. That's actually terrifying. So if you don't need the light, you glow in the dark. You know, I'm trying to do like, you know, when you'd have a flashlight when you were a kid and you'd hold it like this and tell spooky stories? That's what I'm trying to replicate here. The call came from inside the house. All right, I guess that was a little spooky. I mean, no one ever saw her again. All they found was an Audra pillar in the middle of the clearing next to an old stump. That's kind of spooky.
I heard it as a child. Took me years before I would fetch water again.
Okay, well, that's enough for now. Let's get some rest.
Who could rest at a time like this?
Spooky time is over. Hey, Death. How are you? Happy Sunday. You just missed the scary stories portion of the stream.
Does anyone want to share a scary story?
No, I just turned the lights on. You can't share any more scary stories. It's literally not how it works. If the lights are on, the scary stories are off. Okay?
Golden ambiance.
I actually need to get some rest tonight. I'd rather not spend the whole night screaming in my sleep.
Well, I liked Giada's story.
Thank you, Yardsley. I suppose I owe the rest of you an apology. I didn't mean to frighten anyone.
Your stories are very good. They're just feeling a little too close to reality right now.
I'll try and think of something more pleasant then. Like a mouse and a rabbit going on pathetic little adventures.
Why are they pathetic? That sounds adorable. I'd love to hear the stories about the mouse and the rabbit.
Boy, I've seen Mount Forgia erupt before, but never like that. It's like it was angry, like it was screaming in pain. I don't know what really happened, but I assume Sopadal was involved.
Yeah, the TLDR is that Sopadal overreacted to Ludwin's presence, which is what she always does, and then she freaks out and causes the land to go into upheaval and kills people in the process.
Oh, they overreacted. I see. Just a tiny baby god throwing a tantrum, blowing up the land and killing everyone.
Exactly.
Poor thing.
That's like the TLDR of this entire story. Hang on. A tiny baby god throwing a tantrum, blowing up the land, and killing everyone. That is the TLDR of everything you need to know about Sopadal. It's spot fucking on. Oh, man. V says, that reminds me, I saw a boss for Borderlands 4 and it's gonna make Tiff shit herself. Are all games getting giant hand-related bosses now? Because I'm not gonna be able to play them. You guys were here for Elden Ring. I don't need to say anymore. I've played scary games in my time. I've gotten scared about things in games. Nothing has ever scared me in a game or in a movie or in anything in my life more than those fucking hands from Elden Ring. So if that's like becoming a thing now, I might need a new hobby. Like I might need to get into like knitting or something. Just I cannot with that. All right, that's enough for now. Get some rest.
Thanks for talking.
I'm starting to suspect that every single leader in the Living Lands is incompetent. Truly. Is there no vetting process? Hopefully those in Solace Keep will choose their leaders with more care in the future. But we should check on Marius. I'll make him some soothing perfume, but I think a few words from you would help too.
I've already spoken with him.
Lovely. Another point in your favor, Envoy. I do not envy the Pargrunen in any case. Meeting that council gave me a new appreciation for Vidaru.
Yeah, I feel like we met a lot of leaders in the Living Lands, and pretty much every single leader we've met, we've hated. Well, not totally true, but there's been a majority of really bad leaders, so yeah. You might have to keep an eye on Vidaro, see that he doesn't take any lessons from this council.
Well, Fior has already been burned to
the governor we met at the start wasn't that bad. Agreed, and that's what gave me hesitation when I said it. And the leader of Thirdborn wasn't that bad either.
On the important things.
But
Like the garden.
still.
Come on,
There's been a
Envoy,
lot
let's
of
get
bad
going.
ones and then some neutral
How can I help,
to
darling?
not great ones. Okay, that's enough for now, I think. And then we'll check in with Kai.
When you find Sapadal, I hope you tell him how much I love what they've done with this place.
He kind of gives me the creeps.
I thought you were into all this esoteric, metaphysical stuff. If you're thinking about the fact that this place is the epicenter of the Dream Scourge, or we've got a half-crazy god trying to break free around us, my advice is, don't. Focus on the problems you can see, and attack them as they come. Take every march one step at a time. Besides, as divine prisons go, I can imagine much worse.
Honestly, that was great life advice from Kai right there. If a god is a being of vast essence, then imprisonment means isolating a massive, powerful soul in the Audra here.
You make it sound like we have a ticking bomb under our feet. And judging from Sapadal's outbursts at Mount Forja and Naku Kubel, you're probably not far off. They're a few provocations away from disaster.
Yeah, absolutely. They were volatile before their imprisonment. Since then, they've unleashed something new, the Dream Scourge.
Exactly. And what are the odds that centuries of imprisonment have improved their temper? Setting them free means gambling with the lives of everyone in the Living Lands. It's not worth it, but it's not my call. And I don't envy you having to deal with a loose cannon of a god. But I envy even less the mess you're going to have when we escape this place.
As per usual, me and Kai kind of see the world in a similar way. We've disagreed on a few things, but for the most part, I usually agree with Kai, and he agrees with me, and we just have similar sentiments towards things. So it's been nice to have a party member that feels like I've always got my back. To be fair, I like all of the party members in this game. Some of them are a bit more eclectic than others, cough cough Yatsley. But for the most part, they're all good people. But Kai especially, I just feel like our morals and worldviews really line up. And he was the first party member we ever met. He's had my back. Even when we died, Kai was there. That seems like forever ago. Spoiler alert, but I mean, we are in the final chapter of the game. Doesn't it seem like another lifetime ago when we got murdered and we got resurrected and had to chase down our own killer? That seems like another game ago. It was so long ago. But yeah, Kai was by our side during all of that. So Kai has been our rock so far. Exactly, TS. You know, after all this, I'm disappearing to a remote cabin for a year and no one is stopping me.
I hate to burst your bubble, but I don't see how that's gonna happen. While we're tracking down your god, things are heating up between your Adiran comrades and the locals.
Yeah. But I was sent to deal with the Dream Scourge, not politics, and I keep getting dragged into the politics part of it. Hopefully, once the Dream Scourge is over, so is my obligations to this bullshit.
And some days you wake up and the deck of your ship's covered in bird shit. You can clean it up, or you can step in it. That's the choice.
Or you can step around it. And also, I'm not sure how many times I've had to stress this, but it doesn't seem to be getting through to people. The Steel Garrote are behind this mess. Not Adir, and certainly not me.
A lot of people aren't going to make that distinction. Especially when your Ambassador Heelguard hosted Ludwine in Paradise for as long as her assistance was convenient. The Steel Garrote leveled fewer. Even if Animancers aren't the most popular bunch, everyone gets nervous when fields burn. And yeah, I know that's on the Steel Garrote, but it's not lost on anyone that your people despise Animancy. Not when Heelguard banned the practice in Paradise.
I mean, Heelguard had nothing to do with the Steel Garrote's plans in Fjord, and that's what it all comes back to. Was the Steel Garrote originally here by invitation of the Adiran Emperor? Yes, absolutely. But since then, they have continuously demonstrated that they don't listen to anyone, that they're here from their own agenda, they're doing whatever the fuck they want. And I understand people less informed about all of this may just lump them all together, but I'm not sure how many times I need to explain this to my own freaking companions that we have nothing to do with what the Steel Garrote has planned.
Even if you believe that, no one else will.
Well then...
And that's not all. You helped Ludwine destroy Nakuku Bell. And while most people don't give a tarnished skate for godless ruins, they'll see that as a powerful demonstration of siege weaponry.
Yeah, but we stopped a bunch of Dream Thralls. The alternative would have been worse for Thirdborn.
One thing I've learned about war. Strife and distance have a way of reducing nuance. All anyone else is gonna see is a threat display. On the doorstep of the Living Land's best cannoneers, no less. And then there's Solace. You might have saved the keep, but no one's going to talk about the disaster that didn't happen. They're going to talk about why Mount Forja erupted after all this time.
Okay, I mean... It's a volcano, though. Adir can't possibly be blamed for a volcano erupting.
You'd be surprised where people can find blame when they're spun up. And it looks real bad when a Steel Garrote force just so happened to be there when it went down. Fairly or not, a lot of blame's gonna be laid at Adir's door. And if I had to guess, I don't think Heelguard's been helping matters while you've been out here.
Okay, I mean, sure. Is it frustrating to hear all of this? Yes, because it feels like no matter how many times I try to say this is all the Steel Garrote's fault, Kai doesn't listen, which is frustrating. But regardless, even if people want to blame the Empire, or want to blame the Steel Garrote, or want to blame whoever, why does this involve me? I'm not the emperor of this empire. Am I from the Empire? Sure, but I was sent here on one mission. The mission was to stop the Dream Scourge. We're gonna do that, and then I'm gonna leave. I'm going to a cabin in the middle of the woods. No one can find me. I'm gonna practice my magic and read a bunch of smutty novels, and y'all can fight over this. Just freaking leave me out of it. That's an example of finding blame anywhere and everywhere. The egg prices. Touche, touche. Hey, cute cats, how are you? Happy Sunday. Welcome. You've arrived at a bit of a tense moment here. Me and Kai are butting heads a little bit. So tensions are high and everyone out here is well armed. What about it?
If and when we get out of here, we're walking into a powder keg. And you'll have to choose a side. That's the part I don't envy.
I mean, I was sent to stop a plague, not prosecute a war. I feel like I'm just repeating myself over and over and over again here.
Yeah, those were your orders. And if you make it back, you'll be the godlike Adiran who survived an assassination, treated with local leaders, faced a god, and stopped the Dream Scourge. That's a powerful symbol indeed.
Yes, but I refuse to be party to a conquest. I fear this is laying the groundwork for when you actually have to pick a side rather than leave. Yeah, 100%. I feel like they're pigeonholing me again into a binary decision, when realistically there is a third option. I stay out of it, right? I don't want to make this choice.
I wouldn't either. Look on the bright side. Maybe we die here, and then you don't have to. I don't mean to burden you. It's late, and you've still got a god to face. Just know that whatever you choose, I'll fight alongside you. I'm with you to the end of this.
Thanks, Kai.
Anytime.
Yeah, it's, frustrating. I don't mean to burden you, he says. Burdening you. Yeah, it's,
Good night.
frustrating to say the least. Anywho. I think we've talked all that I want to talk tonight. I don't think we can upgrade any of our equipment at this point, unfortunately. Everything's been fully enchanted. I think all that's left for us to do is rest for the night. Now, I am going to put Giada back in our party. We had Marius in our party for the entirety of the last section because it was his homeland, so it made sense. But now that we're sort of heading into the final area, I want Giada back in the party because A, I like Giada, but B, and perhaps most importantly, she's sort of spec'd as a healer, which works out perfectly. We've kind of got Kai as the tank, Giada as the healer, and then me as the DPS. It just makes RPG sense, if you will. And now, here we go. We're loading in to the garden. I can't believe we're finally here after this very long, twisted journey. We finally made it. Sopadal's prison.
Looks like a dead end.
Or not?
Oh, I stand corrected.
Yeah, that was convenient. Just a little bit of platforming. We'll make our way over. Gay lemurs! Oh my god, I feel like it's been so long! Hi! Again, something that seems so long ago, the opening cutscene when we saw these colorful lemurs for the first time. Wow, we've come full circle here now, folks.
Someone to mark that spot for us.
That's it. The heart of the garden.
Hey,
Sapadal's cage.
we are reliving these little rainbow lemurs that we saw at the very opening cutscene of the game. One basically got the Dream Scourge zombified and went crazy. But here they are, just living their little lemur lives.
Here it comes.
Alrighty. Yeah, this is a pretty cool place. So as per usual, there are ruins around here. But they do appear to be almost floating in part. Yeah, that's floating. Straight up. Hi. You can see the mountain, or the volcano, I should say, and Solace Keep right over there as well, which is interesting. And giant roots. All very cool. We've got Audra. We've got loot, my favorite. And that's all there is over here. I guess we're heading to that area, that sort of orange ball. That feels like perhaps our objective. Ooh, what do we have here? Letter from Tane. Dear Lengrath, I made it to the garden somehow. The last thing I remember is getting lost, stumbling through the woods past a volcano, and now here I am. Then again, maybe it was all a dream. Maybe this is a dream too. What else is new? The plants are a nice touch, but a bit too humanoid? They'd fit right in at the halls obscured. A little greenery to brighten up the enclosures. Anyway, I believe this marks the end of my sightseeing tour of the Living Lands. Not a moment too soon. I miss the comforts of home. Now, how do I leave? Oh well, I'll figure something out. I always do. Wink! Your friend, Tane the Archmage, author of Tane's Chaotic Orb. P.S. I'm leaving this here for you, or a future version for you to find someday. Take care. I'll see you at the next meeting of the Circle. I'll save you a seat next to me at the big table.
Tane was here?
Oh!
As in Tane's chaotic orb.
Yeah, apparently someone else made it to the garden. That's some unknown point. And it was actually an archmage. And as soon as we read his letter, we got attacked by putrid skeletons, so that's not very nice. Is that it? Or did everything wake up? Oh no, everything woke up. There's a Dream Thrall Elder Black Bear right there. Oh, it's so gross. That is a lot of growths. Apparently just reading that letter was enough to awaken the entire frickin' garden. What else do we got? Is that it?
Not
Dang.
bad for a scholar.
Kirky says, on Pocket TCG at the moment, my pack luck has been good, but my wonder picks have been have absolutely sucked. I feel like it's always one or the other for me. I either do good in packs and bad in wonder picks, or vice versa. But I feel like my luck has been alright to start this new TCG set. We'll see if that keeps going. We've got something here. Megfolk Horizon 5. Life is a prayer, and the prayer is the completion of the God function. Without function, my function is to be without. I lie down and wait, but the worms of my purpose move within me, seeking out new ways to approach God, and the itching drives me mad. I stand up, I leap, I dance, I pray with my body and my voice. I fashion images that resemble the enactment of my purpose, out of stone and out of soil and out of soot. I enact my purpose in miniature upon life. I find for all life in this unholy land is in some way distant from God. It is not enough, it is not enough, it is not enough. I must have pray back. I must have pray back. Okay. That's some unhinged writing. Luckily, that writing didn't cause everything in the forest to turn against me. I don't know what it was about that other letter in particular, but... Now, looks like there's a few places we can go here. I can climb up this way. Aha, what do we have here? Megfolk Horizon 2. Life is a prayer. Of the insisted ones, we made a holy slaughter. The young we smothered with our hands. Of the oldest, we made fires. We rendered them down into fuel to clear the insisted growth. From some we removed the hands, from others the feet, from others the features, all of which we gathered in heaps, which drew the insisted wildlife to feed. Into these heaps we set poison. Of their severed heads we made pyramids, 10 heads to a side, and the count of heads in each pyramid was 385. Of these pyramids, there were counted 7,707. Anyone want to do quick math? 385 times 7,707. That's how many people the Meg folk killed. A holy slaughter, indeed. We spared those who could run with vigor. That's 42,069. Oh no, 42069. I see what Feener's doing here. It's actually just under 3 million, says TS. Wow. That's a genocide. We spared those who could run with vigor so that they would lead us to other dwellings of the insisted. We made it known that mercy could be purchased by tribute so that the insisted would gather together their livestock, their wine and wealth to present to us. The first 10 of these tributes we accepted and gave mercy. Then after the 11th tribute, we began to kill all those assembled. In this way, we made them gather themselves to be taken census and killed. In this way, we approach God through prayer. That's fucked up. Wow. I mean, not that I ever doubted Sop at all when she said that the Meg folk were evil, and that was her justification for the last natural disaster, was trying to destroy all the Meg folk. Clearly they fucking sucked. But remember, in destroying the Meg folk, Sabadal also destroyed her own people, so... Yeah. Whoa, what's this here? A superb greatsword.
You first. I'll be right behind you.
Are we going cliff diving? I guess we are. Whoa. It's a big statue right there. Some ruins. Alright. Geronimo!
Don't look down.
Alright. Everyone made it down okay? There's Kai. We found the enclosed grove camp. If we need to make camp and rest, we've got a spot here, which is nice. But I think we're good. I think we're gonna keep moving. Through this door. Oh!
I see the disciple has found her way into the cell.
No. Clarion Steel. We know this voice. Why is she here?
Now what do you want?
I was unclear last time. I will not repeat my mistake.
Out. Out. Her voice pierces our skin.
Look at this place. A quagmire of your parasite's worst instincts. Can you even begin to grasp the forces that you tamper with?
Hush, Sopadol, adults are talking. Honestly, Wodica really pisses me off too. I've said this before, I just wish we lived in a world without gods, because as is often the case in, you know, fictional fantasy media, the gods meddle with mortal lives and don't give a fuck about any of us, and that's exactly what's happening here. Yes, I agree with Wodica that Sopadol sucks, but Wodica also sucks. If we get rid of Sopadol, I'm sure Wodica will just move on in. So it's like, no, I want all the gods out, right? Why don't you explain then, instead of just insulting me?
Apparently, I must. The situation is worse than I perceived. Do you think you're special, with your god's thorn in your side? Do you believe you can hold dominion over chaos itself? When even the collective fury of the real gods could only confine the sniveling creature to this wasteland.
MK says, but you're missing the point. If you just kneel and worship them, everything will be okay. I mean, that's what Ludwin is doing. Wodica is her patron deity, and everything she does, all the destruction she wrecks, is all in the name of Wodica. So, what is she asking me? I don't. So she's saying that the gods were the ones who confined Sopadol here. Okay, yeah, I knew that.
You suspected. Then you must have understood why.
It is true.
Like, literally, what do you want with me? Leave me alone.
Seas run red with memory.
In time, the gods felt the wretched powers seeping through this land. Its madness would consume us all if it was not contained.
I guess the new information here is she's saying gods plural. We've already understood that it was Wodica who sent the Megfolk, who hated Sopadol, who tried to destroy her, and who ultimately had servants, you know, imprisoned her and then had servants sort of protect the prison, but I didn't realize all the gods were involved. Hey, JMB Cafe, how are you? Hello, happy Sunday. Welcome on in, Raiders. My name is Tallara, and you've arrived at a dramatic moment. We are in the final stream of Avowed. This is a new fantasy RPG from Obsidian, if you guys haven't seen it yet. It is 10 out of 10, would recommend.
May the 4th be with you.
May the 4th be with you as well, John. You can probably see I'm wearing my Star Wars shirt to celebrate. I hope you're having a great day, everyone. If you aren't following my friend JMB Cafe, change that. He is fantastic. It's good to see you streaming today, John. I hope you had a good one. I see you were playing some Mario Kart 8. Always a nice Sunday game to chill and relax with. Everyone go check out John. Hey, Octor. Hello. Welcome on in to the JMB Cafe raiding party. Like I said, we're into the final sort of section here of Avowed, which is a great game. I would recommend it. But we have hit the point of no return, if you will. And it's bittersweet. It's exciting in a way to get to an end of a game and finally see everything sort of wrap up and connect together. But also, of course, bittersweet saying goodbye to a game that you've put dozens and dozens of hours into. So it's a mixture of emotions, but we still got a lot to go here. We still got to fight or deal with the big threat, the god at the end of the game. So we're getting there. You're saying goodbye to Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Honestly, that's a great idea. I should do a Mario Kart 8 stream like at the end of the month as my official goodbye to the game. It's crazy to think that Mario Kart 8 won't be the Mario Kart game a month from now, because it has been the Mario Kart game for the last decade. It's crazy to think we're finally getting a new one, right? Also, John told us to follow you, so I have to unfollow first before I can refollow. I mean, hey, who am I to just tell you to disregard John's instructions? You gotta do what you gotta do, right? Thank you for the raid, John. Thank you for the bits. I appreciate you. Hope you're having a good Sunday. Let's see. What are our options here? You couldn't reach the Living Lands yourself, so you sent your Meg folk to do all your dirty work.
Work that sullies one hand meets out justice with the next. A pity that its followers could not be reasoned with.
I mean, here's the thing, though. It's like, it's one thing. I agree, Sopadol is reckless and destructive and has to be stopped. But you sent your Megfolk in here and slaughtered, as per TS's calculations, at least 3 million people? Hard to think you did the right thing. Oh my goodness, John, what the heck? Thank you so much for gifting a sub to Octor. Welcome to the gang, Octor. Enjoy your ad-free viewing, your sub badge, your emotes, and you got JMB Cafe to thank for that one. Thank you, John. Appreciate it. V says March 10th is the official Mario Day, so you're a few months late to celebrate. But we're not celebrating, we're saying goodbye. We're having a Mario funeral on, like, May 31st. 3 million people, that's nothing compared to Alderaan. Oh, that's a good point. That's a good comparison to make today, especially May the 4th. The amount of people that Wodaka and the Megfolk killed pales in comparison to the amount of people that the Empire killed on Alderaan. That's a good comparable, actually. You ordered the Megfolk to kill them too.
Of course.
Skill issue.
The poor godless, worshipping the very thing that subsumed them. We could not excise.
Yeah, honestly, Wodaka, the TLDR is Wodaka, aka this god, is just as bad as Sopadol, aka the other god. It's the long and short of it. All the gods fucking suck. You could have found a way to contain Sopadol without senseless death.
There was none. Utmost chaos calls for unwavering.
Can't you see where Ludwin gets her whole demeanor from? There's always a better way. You just didn't care enough to look for it.
A strong censure from one who was not there to witness it.
She scolds and scorns and wrings the earth dry. Purge her from this place.
Listen to its tantrum. It knows neither order nor sense. Adir is the only thing holding back the tide of entropy.
Whatever the answer is, the Living Lands can't go on like this.
The answer is obvious to those with the courage to accept it. You are here now. There's still time to succeed.
I'm not sure that's exactly what I said, MK, but alright, sure, let's immortalize that. Honestly, Wodaka, get out of the garden. Now, I'll never work with you.
Very well. I cannot force a child to bend to my will. But I will not stand by and watch you undo my work. You should have thought more carefully before you broke.
Hey, Meerkat Meowdy, happy Sunday. Welcome to Avowed. We're in the endgame now.
Let this be a lesson.
We finally found the garden, and now all the gods are talking to us.
Wodaka's appeal. Still don't.
Yeah, she fucking
That's
sucks.
it. From now on, I pray to no god.
Retweet. That is, again, that's the TLDR, is all the gods, or what was the quote, fuck and suck? Pretty sure I said fucking suck, but yeah, no, fuck and suck is probably good too. Now, what do we have up here? Treasure, perhaps? Ooh. Secret door, perhaps? I mean, it looks like we would be able to open it if... Oh, wait. Aha! Yes! Secret door! Oh. Okay, we'll get to that in a second. First, secret door! Yes, I knew there would be loot in here. I knew there would be loot in here. We got our Charm of Bones. Summons a trio of skeletons to fight with you. Okay, that's actually pretty sick. Unfortunately, I don't think it's quite as sick as our Cartographer's Companion, but if you wanted to be a necromancer, have I got the necklace for you. Hey, Sharp, howdy, happy Sunday. Now, what do we have over here?
What I'm seeing? Or am I going mad?
No, this is exactly like what happened to your parents. Sapadal turned whoever these people were, looks like animancers, into trees.
What is the meaning of this? It can't be real. This is an illusion. A joke. Tell me we're both seeing the same thing.
It's crazy that quote number 7 of this channel is dated July 25th, 2017. That is so long ago. Holy crap. Playing Dark Souls 2, Scholars of the First Sin. That's crazy. It's your family's lab all over again.
But worse. So much worse. Why am I cursed to see this again? Why does the memory follow me wherever I go?
I don't know. Honestly, I don't know.
Whoever is responsible, I'm tired of the bullshit. Step forward and answer for yourself, coward.
Godlike of Sapadal, long have we awaited you.
Oh, that's spooky.
Finally, you've come home.
Oh, that's real spooky.
This is almost as bad as Ringram's creepy sculptures.
Oh my gods. They're alive?
Well, I don't know about that. Hang on. Remember we had a conversation before we walked into the garden. I believe it was Giada herself who hypothesized that things might be weird in here and we might see weird visions. And I think this might be one of those. I'm gonna slowly draw my weapon.
Let's not be too hasty.
Giada Castell, welcome.
Wait, you know me? How do you know me?
For centuries, our whispers filled the silence. Then we heard your mother's call.
My mother? You heard her?
She reached out to us, using the tool you now carry.
But that would have been years ago. The first time she used the phantasmal focus. The only time she used it.
We heard, and Sapadal answered, saying in a great voice, "We are here. You have found us."
I don't know if you guys can tell, but everything is like subtly moving.
The voice of a god can be
which
a
makes
terrible
me
thing.
unsure if this is real, honestly. I don't really want to say number 1. Feels a little insensitive. I don't think you should ever refer to someone's dead parents as being, quote, obliterated. So how about we just go with number 4? Seems like a safe choice. Why are you telling us this?
We feel her pain like initials carved in our bark. She needs answers only we can give.
What exactly happened to my parents? Tell me, please. I need to know.
Sapadal wanted to be heard, and in so doing, twisted your family in body and soul, broke them into a more suitable shape.
Sapadal does not know the limits of their strength. Mistakes were made.
Classic.
Mistakes were made? Do you have any idea what my life
Classic.
is? A little mistake?
After the incident, your parents were like us.
Classic. Sapadal made a mistake. People
so we
died.
helped them move on, as they wanted.
In the end, they thought
So you can
only
add
of you,
Giada's parents to the
their
list of
pride,
victims.
and their love.
of Sapodal.
That's it. That's really it. The answer I've been searching for all these years. Sapodal destroyed my family.
Yeah. I'm so sorry, Giada. I had no idea about any of this, which isn't 100% true. Obviously, when we found Giada's parents, it was early on into the game, so we still hadn't solidified the link between Sapodal and the Dream Scourge. We certainly had, you know, made some guesses, but this kind of solidifies it. Whoopsie doopsie, people die. That's silly old Sapodal.
I don't hold you responsible. I don't even know if I hold Sapodal responsible. Your god has the intelligence of a scatterbrained goat. But that isn't their fault. It's simply how they came into being.
Yeah, but I still don't think it makes it okay. MK says no, people didn't die. People were obliterated, right? Sorry, I forgot about that choice of words. Alright, I gotta be honest, we should probably just get moving.
Indulge me a moment. I've been waiting a long time for this. One final question, spirits. What is this? Why are you trying to ruin my life again? Is this your way of haunting me? What is it you want?
That's 4 questions.
Kai, now is not the
We
time.
want to apologize on Sapodal's behalf, and for the part we played in your sorrow.
They want to apologize. I came to the garden for answers, not to offer forgiveness.
I mean, you owe them nothing. Sapodal's madness cost your parents their lives.
You're right. I'm the one who has to live with the consequences of their actions. If you seek forgiveness, look for it within. Don't ask me to give up any more than I already have.
We understand. Thank you for giving us this opportunity. And thank you, Godlike, for bringing her all this way. The time has come for you to find your patron, as you were meant to.
Okay, I'm ready.
May the living lands receive you with open arms. Farewell.
Goodbye. We need to talk about this, but not here.
This feels like one of those times when getting answers doesn't mean getting closure.
Oh no, she's gonna need time to process all this, but at least she has the answers, which is step 1, I think, to getting the closure. Unusual book. This book is penned with dark tree sap instead of ink, every stroke done with a slow, meticulous hand. Most of the pages contain sketches of the garden, unfamiliar animals, and even music and some ancient notation. Only the final page contains legible writing. Forgive us. And again, I totally believe that Sapodal is sorry, and she doesn't mean to do any of this, but the fact that it continues to happen time and time again doesn't make it okay, just because she's apologetic. Anyway, I guess that's all we're gonna find back here. So let's go back the way we came in. If we go down through here, right past the Meg folk, where we talk to Wodaka. The fuck is that? Skellies. Okay. That was honestly kind of scary. Yeah, the noise there was a little bit scary. Okay. Oh, there's more. I'm definitely gonna miss the combat of this game. This is some of the best combat I've played or I've experienced in an RPG in some time. This is so good. I love just being a wizard and running around and kicking ass. What more could you want, right? It is very, very entertaining. Okay, skellies are down. What do we have in here? Loot! Shiny, shiny loot! Oh, we need a sarcophagus key. Where the fuck am I gonna get that? Megfolk Orison III. Life is a prayer. Is the task done? In just one task time, we marched upon the land and subdued all the insisted and shattered their dwellings. We made a meal of their bones and packed it into concrete so that it would not re-enter the land. We extirpated their tongue and their disbeliefs forever. From their rulers we received surrender, and unto those rulers we had delivered ruin, thus always to the godless. Now God Function has not prayed back to us in 10 multiples of the task time. If we cannot receive God Function's feedback, we cannot know if we are approaching God, and if we are not approaching God, then we are withdrawing from God. It is wrong to withdraw from God. We must pray to God Function to provide pray-back. But 10 multiples of the task time in prayer have gone unanswered. Without God Function, the higher cameral of our minds is missing. So Wodika abandoned the Megfolk, or she couldn't speak to them once they got in here? Interesting, but I mean, clearly the Megfolk were insanely cruel and disgusting, so... Again, Wodika is no better than Sopadal. If anything, she's probably worse. Sopadal causes destruction unknowingly. Wodika does it with intent. Just pick your poison. Denied loot goblin sobs. Don't make the loot goblin sad. Now, this is gonna hurt, isn't it? Ugh. Yeah, a little bit. I don't think any of these people had as strong of knees as I did. On the bright side, treasure should help the old joints feel a little better.
Look at that thing move. It was time to study it before it kills us.
So there's actually a Megfolk still functioning in here. But yeah, as TF says, the sheer malice in Wodika's followers is very telling. Oh my god. Ooh. Yo, that was like a literal machine gun of like laser bullets that absolutely wrecked me. That was crazy. Okay, wow. That was an insane amount of power. These things are strong. That was just one. No wonder the godless people were wiped out, because these things are insanely strong. That was just one. Imagine if we had to fight a whole army. There's a little shrine here. Oh god. Someone died at the base of it. Curled up. Can I open this loot? Yes, thank god. Thank god. If I had been denied from shiny treasure twice, I definitely would have sobbed. Right, we picked up a lot of stuff that I should be able to deconstruct. Hopefully if we deconstruct enough stuff, we can upgrade our weapons at some point. I'm gonna take a quick break. I really need to go use the washroom, so give me a couple minutes and we'll be right back. Alrighty, thank you guys for waiting. Let's get back to it. Whoa, that thing's cool. What do we have here? That is a person?
I know that place, right?
Oh, yeah, this is... Oh, these are definitely visions, because this is the weird altar that we found in Marius's old town. I think each of our companions is going to come face to face with, like, their deepest fears or their traumas.
Oh, no. No. Why is this? They're dead. Like, it just happened. Like I remember.
This is the moment I found you, bundled and crying, while our parents died.
Viate. You're not here. You can't be here.
I am dead, Viate, from the Dream Scourge. We are in the garden. As strange as this seems, it is normal here.
Yeah. This is an echo from within your soul, Marius, or perhaps memories from your friend's spirit.
I can't be certain of that. I know that I am here. And for
TS, I see what's gonna go down. Everyone's gonna take turns getting their minds fucked with.
Why force me to do it again?
I don't know. I guess there's something unresolved here, maybe? Something else you need to understand? Wonder what your fuckery's gonna be. My money's on the assassination. I mean, true. I guess that was kind of unresolved.
Then for the god's sake, what is it? I am exhausted, Viate. I can't take much more of this.
You know where we are. This is my memory. When everyone died, and I found you back in your tent. How much of this do you remember? I can't tell from your eyes.
We dealt with Razvan. He got what was coming to him.
I mean, Marius got his closure. Are you looking for closure too?
I have as much closure as I'm going to get. I am part of this land's god now. A dream of the land.
Oh, he's been fully taken by the Dream Scourge.
Were you always such a blessed poet? Or is that a death thing?
Sapadal wants to understand. They know your envoy very well, but not the people next to them.
I have what I needed. We dealt with Razvan. We avenged our parents' deaths.
Then maybe it was I who needed to speak with my Viate. With a clear mind this time. Even when we were children, you kept me alive, first by needing my protection, and then by being who you turned out to be. When you left Solace, it was like I lost more than my best friend. I lost my need to live.
I know. And I'm not sure I'll ever live that down. I don't think I know how.
I mean... We dealt with Razvan. That has to count for something.
It does. Closure. It means that you confronted the past we all hid from you, and you walked away victorious. You've always done everything you could to survive. It's time for you to learn how to live.
So, what do we do now?
Forgive each other. You'll never be able to move on without it.
I feel strongly that there's nothing left to forgive.
Easier said than accepted, Viate. Forgiving myself is the hardest part. We've both been through so much. But I can see that it's all behind us now. Just another thing we've survived after all this time.
A fine way to put it.
You've grown a lot, Marius. I'm proud of you.
I see it too. You've come a long way from that scared boy who refused to wear shoes for fear a bug might crawl out of it.
That was you, Nimdut. Look at my feet. Shoes. Come on, you.
Get out of here. Hike up your waistline and go talk to a god. They'll be waiting.
Rest well, Ianku.
Well, it was good to see you, Viate. Even with all this.
Oh, okay.
Take care of
That's
my
what
little
Giada's
friend,
doing.
Envoy.
Acrobatics in the
He
back
needs
there.
you more than he'll say.
Parkour! Well, I feel like Marius's encounter... Oh my god, why is there so much parkour? Jesus. I feel like Marius's encounter was a lot better than Giada's. I think he definitely got a bit more closure than she did by being able to speak to his friend.
Sorry, Envoy. Let's talk about it back at camp, right?
But okay, we can. If y'all are done, like, jumping around, maybe we can sit down and have a conversation about this. Absolutely. Yeah, before we go, yes, I knew my eyes did not deceive me. Loot. Windwalker gloves, plus 1% critical hit chance. I mean, if we had a full build around critical hits, maybe it would be worth it, but 1% is pretty low. I'm not sure that's something I would necessarily bank on. I'm not a statistician by any means, but 1%? I don't know about that. Now, what do we have over here? More putrid skeletons, as well as a couple of spiders for good measure. Oh god. Yeah, it's a big one. Oh! They jump. How many times do you land 100 attacks in a fight? Not many. Exactly. Exactly. I don't think the odds are in our favor there if we equip those gloves, unfortunately. As much as I would love a critical hit, unless we had some other way to, like, multiply the bonus that we're receiving, I don't think it's worth it for us at this stage. Now, what do we have down here? Spooky little underwater cave. Alright. Things we do for treasure, I guess. Oh, this brings us back here. Oh, interesting. Okay, it's actually a shortcut back to the camp. That's good to know that that's there if we need to go back. I definitely want to rest at camp at some point because I think we have enough materials now to get an upgrade or two to our weapons. But I'd like to keep moving forward for now. I kind of would want to wait to do it until we're like right before the final battle so we can make the most of any upgrades that we're gonna have. Now we've got a big gate over here. And we've still got some living Megfolk, unfortunately. Let's summon some meteors, shall we? These things are so insanely strong. These are probably like the strongest enemies in the game that we've encountered so far. We just give them absolutely everything we got. And then a couple grenades for good measure. Oh, there's another one! There's two. Okay, I want to take down the first one first. Now, I need you to leave me alone. Pretty sure I just interrupted him just as he was about to hit me with that laser, which was a good feeling. We saw how that decimated me earlier, so that was a perfectly timed interrupt, if I do say so myself. Luckily, Giada came through with a good shield there. Marius, I need you to do your damn job and be a tank. Oh no. The lasers. Whew. Dang. Okay, he's almost down. Couple grenades. Yep. Holy crap. That was a tough fight right there.
I was just getting warmed up.
Were you, Kai? Because I was about done, to be honest with you. Luckily, they do drop some good stuff. And then what do we have over here? Some sort of panel mechanism. wire. Looks like it goes this way. Oh, this must be how we open the door, I guess. Yeah. So we powered the thing on this side. There should be something on the other side as well, I think.
I recognize this. It belongs to Tama.
Are you seeing this too? No. No. This can't be.
It's Kai's time to face his past and his trauma. Yeah.
This room. It looks just like Tama's.
Yeah, and he's here.
Tama. No. I dealt with this. We stood at his memorial together. What is this, Envoy? This is your god's prison, not mine.
I mean, Sapadal's influence has clearly warped reality here.
It feels like I'm standing on a storm-tossed deck. I can't focus on his face. His features keep blurring, changing.
What do you mean?
I'm not sure. I know it's him, but I don't recognize him as the Tama I knew. It's like he keeps changing in front of me. Does that make sense?
Souls wander the in-between or return to the wheel. This isn't Tama's soul, but perhaps a construct of your memory.
Then why does he look so unfamiliar? I used to remember his face so clearly from that night.
It's like trying to read in a dream. That's a good way to put it, yes.
He was in pain, but trying to hide it.
Then what do you see when you look at this Tama?
I see everything. All his moments at once. Joy, sadness, anger, heartbreak, stomachache. Everything from the handful of years that I knew him and the decades before we'd met. He's almost a stranger.
I'm sorry.
I'm not. All this time I kept him frozen in his worst moment. When he was suffering and when I failed him. But now that I see him as more, it's like he's free of that.
That's good. So are you.
You're right. I am. It's like you said. His memory is no longer a burden. For the longest, I was afraid to let go of this moment, like I'd be letting him go if I did. And now I see I was just holding on to something that was weighing us both down.
There's a difference between letting go and running away.
Better than I could have said it. I never thought I'd meet someone I respect the way I respected Tama. But you've made some tough calls, and you've kept your head and your heart in the right place. So whatever comes next, I'm with you until the end. Now let's go find this god of yours and end the dream scourge.
Similar...
When we reach them, what do you think we'll find? A victim? A villain?
Yeah, exactly. I was just gonna say Marius, similar to how Marius's scene was, Kai's feels a lot more concluded. I'm not sure if that's the right word, but they both feel different than Giada's, which felt still very unresolved and still very painful. And TS's, it's kind of looking like the party's reaction to the fuckery afoot is dependent on how you dealt with the trauma previously. Giada was sort of left hanging, so she's more distraught, but we helped both Marius and Kai to deal with the ghosts of their past. Exactly. I'm wondering if that means there was something else we could have done for Giada. It felt like just the nature of Giada's trauma, it was something we couldn't quite resolve, like Kai's and Marius's. Like, we could help them find closure, but we weren't able to do that with Giada, or it didn't seem like we were able to. So perhaps it's just different, or perhaps I missed something. But regardless, it's quite different. When we reach them, what do you think we'll find? One way to find out.
True enough. Let's end this. I'll follow your lead, as always.
Yeah, it didn't feel at the time like I missed anything. I mean, Giada's circumstances were very different, right? It's like her parents were dead. there wasn't really any way to find out what exactly happened to them. We found out kind of. We went down and investigated them and stuff, but it wasn't until this point, I guess, that we had the conclusive evidence that it was Sopadal. Versus Kai's and Marius's felt like things that we could handle at that time. The real question is going to be what Yatsley's trauma is. I feel like we haven't really helped Yatsley with any sort of like personal quest. So again, I'm not sure if it's something I missed or if just, again, she's different, but I guess we'll see soon enough. We do have a haiku here from Tama. The hidden heart thirsts, my spring beneath the desert. It was always you. Oh, Kai, he loves you so much. That is so sweet. Okay, now wait a minute. This didn't open the door, though. Also, do these look like tentacles? These look like giant tentacles, right? Oh god. Okay. Hopefully that's not an omen. A sign of things to come. I wanted to see... Oh yeah, here. This is what I wanted to see. The other mechanism to open this door. Mm-hmm. Okay, what do we have here? Another locked door. And a bunch of spiders. Crap. I think these guys came out of nowhere and there's so many of them. Ah! I hate when they jump. No more? Okay.
That was a close one.
Yeah, I didn't love that. We got loot though. Spiders shouldn't be allowed to jump. Amen to that. That is the worst feeling ever when you see a spider straight up running and jumping towards you. That just gives me the heebie-jeebies. When I come to power, I'm going to make it a law. Everyone, please vote for TS. Hey, the lemurs. Hey, guys. What are you up to? You live in here? Seems like a peaceful little cave for lemurs to live in. Don't worry, I won't bother you. Live your little lemur lives. Okay, what do we have here? Some sort of mechanism. Luckily, as a mage, we can very easily open these mechanisms. Oh, that opens this door. Interesting. Okay, so we're kind of like working in a big circle here in a way.
I should have brought my sketchbook.
Now, what have we here? More skeletons. And the land itself seems to be shifting in front of us. We've got a broken aqueduct, and we've got a dream thrall elder black bear. Ah! Didn't realize the bear was so close to me. That was kind of scary. Snapped my book shut so hard the bear collapsed. Holy crap, man, there are so many skeletons. All of the skills. Okay. There's a priest there. And another bear. Okay, got a good angle on that one. Just the bear left. Pummel it with as many effects as we can. There we go. Okay. I think we're good. Glorious battle indeed, Kai. I think we kicked everything's butt. Let's see what we've got around here. Oh. I'm not sure what that is. But it definitely looks interesting. Can I not interact with whatever this is? Not right now, anyway. You summoned a winter on the bear and he went into hibernation. It's a good way to put it. But yeah, we really have like no information about what Yahtzee trauma is. I don't know. The only thing that comes to mind is, remember her story when she like lit her house on fire on Christmas morning when she got a new spell tome? It's kind of like the only like trauma she's ever really talked to us about. So I don't know if she's just like someone who got off lucky and doesn't have a lot of trauma or what, but... Ancient memory. Ooh, it's another one of these! Damn! Wow, now's a good time for us to experience one of our previous lives here through this ancient memory. Let's see what we got.
We have been here. We were here all the yesterdays before.
How long have you been imprisoned exactly?
The sun rises and sets. Time is mud. When were you born? When were we? We cannot say. We feel no spark of the Tallara Sinakis in this place. We cannot see it through their eyes. We slumber here, alone.
Well, yeah, the Tubaru Sinakis, aka the Godless People, were slaughtered by the Meg folk, and then anyone who was left was wiped out by you, so... you're here because the gods can't trust you not to destroy things.
Why would they not create with us? They took it all away.
You can't keep denying the role that you played in it.
Akita ripped from their beds, rivers of blood. What was their crime? Now our memory is a wound reopened. They came suddenly, the stillness of night split by grinding steel.
Did they emerge from the sea? I mean, this is an island.
We had no time to speculate. First, they blinded us. Shining eyes pierced the concealing dark. Then they burned. Smoke ensnared the moonlight. The Akita screamed.
So this is interesting. This is a different memory than what we've experienced before. Before, the memories we've experienced have been of my past lives. But this one here is actually just a memory of Sopadal's. We finally get, I guess, the full story of the Magfolk invasion. Was there really no way to stop the Magfolk?
How could we fight what we did not understand? A sword slashing darkness. We saw a terrible design in the roaring flames. They had carved a path to the temple. We were their true prey.
Were they trying to sever the Godless's connection to you? Is that why they killed the people too?
Prune the branch, 3 grow in its place. We persisted, we were everywhere. How could they cull the wind? How could they track the stars? Then, they turned to what the Akita had made. They toppled the statues. They set the libraries ablaze.
Yeah, I mean, this is awful. This was a crime. Absolutely. Like, I feel like Sopadal's trying to convince us here. Like, yes, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. What Boudica did is fucking awful. burning books, raising art. This is always how it begins, isn't it?
A mouth silenced, a record of time rendered in ruins. The Akita howled. They died. We cried out, sundered soul by soul. We broke the earth, called down the storm, flung lightning from our hands. But they marched on. We grew tired. In fury, we exposed ourselves.
And there it is. You hurt the very godless you were trying to protect, didn't you?
Our flailing smothered the cries. Were they theirs? Ours? The needle struck. In raised machines, we tried to tear down the garden's walls. Then, nothing.
What do you mean, nothing?
We floated in a great glass eye. The fog closed in on us. We reached out, but the machines held us in. We could not feel the new day's sun play in the shifting tide. The cities crumbled. We could not save them. We could not save ourselves.
So we had sort of already pieced this story together, but there it is in its full retelling. That's how Soppadal became imprisoned, and that's what happened to the godless civilization. Woedica sent her Meg folk to attack Soppadal. They massacred a lot of the godless, and then Soppadal finished off what was left, and then they imprisoned her. Can't imagine the pain of losing the godless.
Their cries.
Number 4 is spicy. Yeah, maybe I should have went with option number 4.
We watched helplessly for aeons. Until you.
Again, I feel bad. What Woedica did was not right. It was pure fucking evil. But at the same time, what Soppadal's been doing has also not been right. It was just 2 wrongs. And together, they don't make a right. Right? What would you do if I'd never come here? If I'd been born someone else?
A chill wind. Our branches shudder. We do not think of this. The wound numbs now. We watch as the river of time expands. In the silence of our prison, we find clarity. How many voices lost? How many saplings have we cut down? We sink into the endless night. Perhaps we should be here.
I mean, to your credit, maybe remorse is a sign that your time here has been good for you.
Fish swims in circles. We are not sure we understand.
Have you thought about your mistakes? Would you make them again?
We cannot choose where seeds fall, yet we can feed, prune, protect. Soil stirs. We have a new memory of this place. You opened the final lock, entered the hidden glade. You listened. You stand at a cliff now. We watch your footsteps carefully. We twine together. We reach for the sky. We grow. We grow. We grow.
Not answering the question. Classic. So, we did get a new godlike ability there. Remembrance of Soppadal. It's a godlike ability, passive. Your health constantly regenerates when below 50%. Whoa! Okay, that's actually awesome. We also got an ability point. Wow, that was pretty good. So finding those memories is very important. It looks like we only missed one in the game. judging by the screen here. I think we only missed this one, unfortunately, but we got most of them, which is good, because as I've said many times, those memories have been some of my favorite stuff in the game, actually. I've really enjoyed those memories. And then everyone here gets a new skill point. I guess why don't we just put it in the skills we don't have unlocked yet? Locked a couple of achievements actually for unlocking everyone's abilities, so that's nice. We love achievements. Okay, I guess that's it for now. So you can see in the inventory here, the main story, pulling back the veil, the garden is reaching out, showing your companions something important about themselves. Talk to them, help them through it. So we did Kai, Marius, and Giada, so clearly I guess there's one for Yatsley as well. And then obviously we're also looking for Sopadal's prison on the way, so keep an eye out for Yatsley's, but first we got more Meg folk to fight. Oh god. Ah! Ow. Kai, can you... Here we go. Whew. Again, interrupted that ability at the perfect time, I think. Just call down as many different elements as we can here. There we go, one down. Hi, I need you to help. Knocking back potions real quick. Ah, not that. That ability's the freaking worst. Wish the cooldown on Kai's ability wasn't so long. Like, I could only just use it again there to get him to draw aggro, essentially. Okay. Whew. Man. Yeah, those things are freaking tough. That's the long and short of it. Those things are tough. Okay. Wow, I didn't realize, like, how big this area was. So clearly we're going that way to find Sopadal. Necking potions like they're Gatorade on a hungover morning. It's a perfect way to put it, honestly. Now, I don't think we could actually get down this way, though. No, we couldn't. A little bit of platforming is going to be necessary here. Oh. Whoa. There's a legendary unique weapon here. It's a hammer called Inevitability. That's freaking badass. Embedded into the heavy marble head of this hammer are symbols representing the Wheel of Incarnation. This weapon was wielded by an indomitable high priest of Barith that made it their holy mission to destroy vessels of all kinds so that their souls may move on to their next lives. Whoa! That's some justification for being a mass murderer. Going around using your hammer called Inevitability to return people's souls to the wheel like the gods intended. Beast says, bruh, that's Thanos. Inevitability, that seems a little blunt. Hammer, blunt, got it, nice. That's, yeah, that's pretty fucked up, honestly. Well, we can break that down for upgrade materials, which is nice. That is a hell of a hammer. Okay. So it looks like we kind of need to platform over those things. So I guess we need to go back this way, I think. We gotta go, yeah, this way. Okay. Here we go. Here we go. This is getting us somewhere. Although I wonder... Should I go this way? Aha! Loot. A Wild Walker ring. Slowly regenerate up to 50% of your maximum health. If it was like quickly regenerate, I'd be into it. But slowly, I'm like, not sure how much that helps us. I love this one random goat over here, by the way. Just chilling. just chilling. I also like his armored butt cheeks. Nothing's getting through those buns. Okay, I guess that's all that's that way. We're going this way.
That looks like a library. I wonder if Yatsley would be interested.
This must be Yatsley's space then. For us to come face to face with her trauma in a library. So many ways to go in this garden. I can see how you definitely end up sort of turned around a little bit. I know Euro mentioned that he got a little lost in the final area, and I can see why. It's certainly twisty-turvy, especially if you're trying to get all the loot like I am. Like, this is a dead end, I think. Looks like it. Yeah. Whew. Wild Walker boots. Plus 10% dodge distance and plus 4 dexterity. No, not as good as our counselor's shoes, I don't think. Especially because they give us extra essence. There's nothing hiding under the water? Really? There's always loot under the water. That seems weird. I don't trust it. Seems sus. Okay, we must have to go back the way we came. Ow. Luckily, I've been hoarding potions up until this point, so we can knock them back without issue. Speaking of, there's another one right there we can grab. Oh, shit, okay. Just got random enemies here. That skeleton was fighting that Meg folk, actually. We unfortunately interrupted their duel, and we'll take over. Ow!
Let me catch my breath.
Toss grenades at him. Save a bit of mana. Whew. Yeah, those things are like freaking tanks.
Thank you for facing that with me.
They're so thick, they can take all of the hits and then also hit like a bulldozer with their lasers. Whoa. Is this the library? It's pretty cool looking. This whole area is very beautiful. Oh. Didn't notice there was a gap there. Got distracted looking at the scenery and almost fell to my death. Oopsie. Speaking of scenery, holy moly, look at that. That is freaking beautiful. Okay, what do we have here?
This is the library from my dreams. It's real?
Oh yeah. Yatsley mentioned that she has this recurring dream about a library.
Some wine to read with. Oh, whoever was here last, I would have gotten along well. This looks like the Akita building this place. Clearly they wanted their story preserved, no matter the cost.
An Akedan library. There's an Akedan tablet right here. A tablet that looks relatively new and half-finished. There are some diagrams that imply the unintelligible text is about a ritual of some kind, but without being able to read Akedan, that's all that can be gleaned.
I wonder who she was. She looks sad and familiar.
This is cool. Also, I love how over here has, like, no color. And then over here it does have color. I'm not sure if that's intentional or not.
Galloway's gonads. Look!
I love how she always likes to curse by invoking some god's private parts.
It's the picture of coziness.
Wait. If dreams can be real now, we might need to keep an eye on our teeth. Everyone has that dream, right? When all your teeth fall out? It's a bad one.
You do know what it means to lose all your teeth in your dreams, right? Finally, you've arrived. There it smells. That took 10 years off my life. Wait. You must be the librarian from my dreams. Oh, it's a pleasure to finally meet you. Oh, though, you do look quite familiar.
You could be twins. Except your hair's better.
It has been quite some time. Too many years to number. Of course. You are an ancestor? A very fashionable one at that. No, child. We are the keeper of these tablets. Or have you already forgotten? Oh, of course. I was you in a past life. Oh, I'm such a fool. You lived with animancers, and yet the idea of awakening to your past lives never entered your mind.
Few can bear the mental and spiritual strain of an awakening. As often as not, it leads to madness.
Oh, darling, you know how I get around all the metaphysical talk.
That's why I'm here, remember?
I was the last of the Akida. Once the attack started, a few of us were charged with preserving as much of our history as we could. So we retreated with as much as we could carry. The attacks? You must mean the Magfolk attacks. Yes, we've heard. Is that the reason for the bodies outside? Yes. Your monstrous gods, who bought their divinity with blood and the souls of their faithful. They tried to butcher every last one of us.
Interesting. Okay, so it really just does seem that all of the characters had different traumas. You know, like, Kai's and Marius's were ones that we could actually deal with and get them to come to terms with things. And then, of course, Giada's was different in that we didn't really get the answers until now. And then Yatsli's is different in that it's not really a trauma, it's just information, her awakening to the reality of one of her past lives. And it makes sense now why she's an Akedan scholar, because she was the Akedan scholar at some point in her last life. So that's kind of interesting. I don't really like any of these answers. I gotta be honest. I guess you clearly don't worship Wodika, hey?
No. For some reason, Wodican beliefs didn't really take off here, Envoy. But how did the Magfolk reach you in here? They didn't. Between the screams of my kin being slaughtered and the screeching of the Magfolk, I couldn't breathe. That's the screeching I heard in my dream, Envoy. I knew I recognized it when we killed that Magfolk. Once it was gone, there was nothing left. And perversely, I found the quiet worse. So I decided on another way. One that wouldn't give your gods the satisfaction. Poison? Well, at least you washed it down with some good wine.
As much as I would love to go with my arcane scholar background, I'm not sure this is the most gentle response. Oh, is that Razor Guild dust? Tell me, did the cardiac failure begin before or after the seizures? I mean, I think we'll just say what an awful choice.
Hopefully we won't have to choose for ourselves anytime soon. Yatsli, you know what you must do now. I abandoned my duty to protect our history, but you...
I love how she even had the
Someone
same
must
hair color and
understand the
hairstyle in a previous
no
life,
one else.
even though she was a different
I'm
race.
already an expert. What more do you
Pink
want me to
buns
do?
is apparently just in her DNA, no matter when or
You
where
have
she
been trained to be the new
reincarnates.
protector of this collection
That's
since
kind of
childhood.
interesting.
I couldn't ask for a better successor. But that was
Also,
your
pretty cool to get the
I
opportunity
have
to
my own
speak to
dreams.
your past self.
Yasli, if
It was
you
one
do
thing
not
for us to
become
witness
the
it
leader,
through,
there
you know,
will
the
be no
visions that
other.
we had, but we never got to have a
The stories of the
conversation
Akita
with
will
our
turn
past
to
self. This
dust,
is
and my
pretty
people,
meta.
Our people.
Buns are eternal.
As the burned queen wanted
I'm sorry to
all
point
along.
this out so crassly,
She
but
sent
past
her
life
life
Yahtzee is
force to choke
unfeasibly
the
hot.
life
I mean, hey, I'm sure she'd love to hear that, honestly.
What do you
Yahtzlee's the one that would take that as a compliment. I mean, look, it's your life, your decision. Go with your gut.
You're no help at all.
Sorry.
Please. I ask for your opinion because I want it. Tell me, what do you think?
Are you really willing to give up your apprenticeship with Ringgrim?
That apprenticeship is more than I could have ever asked for. I don't know. That's hard to ignore. The chosen of Sapadal, yet you do not stand with your people. How disappointing.
I mean, her people
Our
don't
time is
exist
at an end,
anymore.
Yahtzee. It's time for me to go. Wait! I've not even asked you any questions! Tell me about your marriage rights. And oh, did you mean for all your buildings to look so phallic? Unfortunately, my time is at an end. You must keep Yahtzee alive. She is the last hope of the Akita. So this is goodbye. I wish we could have... No. I wish that all of you had a better ending. Choose well, Yahtzee. And good luck. She's gone. Forgive me, Envoy, but we should get going. We can talk back in camp. Later.
Interesting. Got an achievement for completing all companion moments in the garden. I again note how different they were for everybody. But I mean, at the same time, I kind of like that. It wouldn't be as fun if every companion had the same old traumatic backstory, you know what I mean? Every person is different, and so then what they encountered here in the garden was different, and that's kind of nice. Well, best get back to camp for a convo dump. Yeah, we've got a lot of things to unpack. What I'm wondering is, will there be another camp en route? I feel like there has to be. Like, they wouldn't make me go all the way back to that camp. I've got a feeling there must be another one en route to finding Sapadal. But we'll see. We'll keep moving forward from now. Hopefully we'll find a camp en route, and if not, we can always go back to that one. There's not? Are you serious? Hey, Dream Poet, there's no other camp en route.
Absolutely not.
Well, that's annoying as hell. I guess we are gonna have to go backwards. Got another Megfolk Arise in here. Life is a prayer. My faith has been rewarded. God Function has sent unto me a kith, a dwarf named Theodore, who awakened me with Magrin's prayers. Theodore worships me, and in his purpose I see the reflection of Prayback. Once again, I have purpose. Theodore tells me he comes from a settlement named Solace, and that in this settlement there once dwelt a dwarf named Nandru who received divine knowledge from no divinity. For the first time in many multiples of task time, I think that I can truly pray. I can fulfill God Function. I must go unto Solace and discover all traces of the insisted and utterly extirpate whatever remains of them. Praise God Function. Megfolk were, interesting. It's some bullshit. Yeah, that seems like weird game design. I'm not sure why they would only put one camp in this entire area and make you backtrack to get to it. Seems a little weird, but I guess it's what we gotta do. So we'll fast travel back to the enclosed grove so we can check in with everyone for one last time, unpack everything we just saw, and I guess this will be our opportunity to upgrade our weapons and such as well. And then we'll move forward from there. Alright, let's go around the circles. Start with Giada.
All this time, I thought my parents died in a freak accident. An experiment.
I mean, they
gone wrong.
kinda did, but Sopadol had a
Mistake.
bit more of a hand in it than we knew.
In a way, they did.
Yeah.
But it wasn't their mistake. It was Sapadol's.
Yeah. Does knowing that help?
That's what I keep asking myself. This whole experience has me considering my family's work in a different light. Look at what my mother accomplished. Armed with her research and her wits, she found a god. When you speak to a god, it's nothing. Barely a reflex. But for the rest of us, it's unimaginable.
I mean, that's fair, I guess.
No
I never
Animancy
thought
can
about it
live up
that
to
way.
that.
It's so
Certainly
normal
not
for me
me.
to speak to gods now, you
I
know?
thought their legacy was a curse, and I could only break it by completing their work. I was wrong.
I mean, I guess now, in a way, you're unburdened and free.
I suppose I have been all this time. I just never realized it. One thing is certain. When it comes to animancy, I need to unlearn some of my old assumptions. I wanted to tame the spirit of the living lands. Now, there's
I want to
so
go back
much
through
about
the
it I
game
don't
and be an
understand.
adherent douche and
But
always
it's
pick the rude
creepy,
comments, attack everyone, and
wonderful.
always make the wrong decision. I mean, Dream Poet, that's the beauty of these type of games, right? You can play it one way, making certain decisions and acting a certain way. You can go back and play a completely different way, act differently, make different decisions, and see how it all plays out. That's the fun of it, right? I mean, could you still use animancy to help the living lands?
Perhaps, as long as no one gets in my way. I believe the power flowing out of the garden drove this island mad. That has to end. Through animancy, we could help the living lands recover. It would take a lifetime, maybe more, but that's a small price to pay. Then again, who am I to interfere with an ecosystem that I barely understand? On the other hand, half the fun of animancy is stirring the pot and getting into trouble.
Oh, you just beat the game yourself
I
today,
think I
Dream
know what I
Poet.
want.
Cool.
There are too many variables.
It's a
to
good
consider.
Sunday to beat Avowed, I guess.
What do you think?
I mean, I think you owe it to yourself to continue your research and grow as an animancer.
I have a lot of catching up to do, and plenty of room to grow. But I think you're right. So be it. Starting today, I don't have to live up to anyone's example. Animancy can be whatever I make of it.
How much time do you have into it? We've got just over 50 hours, so about the same as you. Yeah, similar amount of time if you've played for 2 days and 8 hours. Yeah, I'm sure your mother and father would be proud of you, Giada.
I know they would be. And not just because some ancient plans told me so. Now I just have to decide which field of research to pursue. But no need to bore you with the details. I've only got one lifetime as Giada Castel, so I'd better make it count.
Hell yeah.
Hey, you helped me through a very difficult time. I just wanted to say thank you.
You're very
Shada's
welcome.
parents would be proud.
Yeah, and my approach to the game has been to try to explore and do as much as I could. We did all the side quests we could find. We explored as much of all the different regions we could find, and it's clocked in at just over 50 hours. I know some people said you could play the game at about 25 hours if you just focus on the main story, and I'm sure you could, but I wouldn't recommend playing the game that way. The beauty of this game, I think, was in its world and in its side quests and that kind of stuff, so I wouldn't recommend trying to
But
just,
at
like,
least
rush
I know
through the
what
game.
happened to my parents.
Knowing's one thing. Feeling okay about it's another.
True.
Oh, Envoy. Have you recovered yet from our chat in the library? I don't think I have yet, but maybe talking it out will help.
Goes for any open world RPG, honestly. Yeah, exactly. I think for most games of this type, just focusing on the main story is never advisable. I mean, yeah, perhaps if we just look at things logically, we could come to a satisfactory conclusion, you know, like the scholars we are.
Well, it's worth a try. It's just... we already have a lot to take care of, don't we? We have a god and an empire both vying for our attention, and now I have this legacy forced on me. I was already unsure what to do, and now a third option appears like the world's worst surprise.
We love a third option, though.
It makes sense. My whole life has been about the godless in one way or another. It explains why I knew the language, why I felt so drawn to the ruins.
Did you accept Sopodal's god abilities, or were you passive? I accepted them in the beginning, and then the more I learned about Sopodal, the more I disagreed with them and didn't want to feel beholden to them in any way, so I stopped accepting their abilities later on. I mean, maybe you should talk it over with Quilichi and get his perspective.
I love the man, but he'll just be endlessly supportive, the fiend. And trying to send a letter when
Fucking Quilichi, too supportive, right? Don't you hate when your partner's like that?
It's not an answer I would have expected, but it's an answer. And now that I know, I kind of thought, well, honestly, I feel more full. Like a puzzle piece sliding right back into place. No matter what happens, even if my path doesn't lead to the library.
The mortifying ordeal of being loved and supported unconditionally. I mean, look, I'm glad you could get your answer, no matter what happens next.
So am I. I think... For the first time in my life, I don't know what to do.
Congratulations, Yardsley. Now you're just like the rest of us.
No matter what, I've always known exactly what I want. But this is the first time I've had more options than time in the day. What do you think?
I mean... Everyone wants my opinion, and I know it's gonna sound like I'm avoiding, but I truly mean it. It's your life. You know your desires better than I do. I don't think any one of those options is bad. I think whichever one you pick, you'd be happy. Me personally, I think I would choose the Archmage's offer and study under her, but follow your gut.
I ask because I want your advice on it.
And just like Giada, she's not gonna let me cop out. I mean... You're a wizard, Yardsley, says Hagrid. I think you should study with Ringrid.
You're right. It's the one area of my life that's gotten the least love.
Looks like you literally can't just stay away from the situation. Apparently you have to give your opinion. There's no way out of it when it comes to your talks with your companions. And whatever you recommend is the destination they're gonna choose.
But I am not looking forward to telling Quilichi.
He'll understand. Your happiness and fulfillment are everything to him.
Well, come on. We've bigger things to deal with. Literally, in Sopodal's case. Much as I'm loath to relinquish the spotlight, we should be off. And Envoy, thank you, truly. Now, let's go.
You're wondering what abilities I got given from Sopodal? We got, let's see, we got this one. So this was the first power we got from Sopodal in Strangleroot. It was Dream Touch, which is an active ability which heals and revives all nearby allies and deals damage over time to nearby Delumgon Dream Thralls and Vessels. Gotta be honest, never used it. I gotta be honest, I haven't used either of the abilities that Sopodal gave me. Then the other one we got, which is the one that we got in Naku's Hidek, is called Thorn of Sopodal. It fires a thorn of energy that passes through multiple enemies, causing damage on impact and momentarily rooting them in place. So they're both active spells, basically. These are the two that we got from Sopodal, and then after this one is when I stopped accepting them, and we just got the passive abilities instead. But yeah, they're both good abilities, I think. As I'm a wizard already, I've got so many abilities, I don't have room on my hotbar, basically, for any more, so I never really use them.
You restless too? It's hard to tell how much time is passing.
How do I prepare for what's ahead?
I barely plan further than the next meal, and you're asking me?
Okay, maybe that's the kind of advice I need.
I don't know, Envoy. I just try to take each day and each battle as it comes. And you can see where that's gotten me. But I think it's possible to be too prepared.
Kai, half of my life has been preparing and studying.
I know. That's gotta make this difficult advice to follow. You know what all of us think by now. Ultimately, you're the one who has to decide what to do with Sapado and where your loyalties lie. My advice? Get a good night's rest, and when the moment comes, follow your instincts.
Honestly, not bad advice. That actually does help, thank you.
Don't forget that every soul in the living lands hangs in the balance.
That doesn't help, Kai,
But
thank you.
look at it this way. Whatever you choose, you'll end the Dream Scourge, and you'll give the living lands a future. And I'd wager that's better than where we are now.
Beast, what the hell kind of watermelons do you have in Florida? Is what I want to know by that comment.
I came here to help you do whatever you're supposed to do with your god friend. Instead, I'm here talking to dead people.
The garden is stranger than I thought it would be.
I've heard about the garden all my life, and I never expected something like that. But thanks to you, I think I was ready for it. I mean, it was blessed et bizarre.
I like how
but
Kai's the only one who doesn't necessarily want to talk about what he experienced in the garden.
Say, it's not really what I expected when I started tracking you and Kai back in Paradise.
What, you didn't think you'd be talking to dead friends and confronting a slumbering god?
No, I was thinking more in terms of hunting for wild game and peeing on Kai to put the fires out. It's been a bit of a ride, Envoy. I feel like it's coming to an end. One way or another. I don't know. Maybe the unexpected isn't so bad after all. I never expected you and I would become friends. Quick note. If you tell any of the others I said that, I'll poison your drink. Anyway.
That's enough for now. Get some rest.
Not before I've done
Poison
some
my drink. Jeez Louise. Alright, well, before we go, we can upgrade our grimoire. Actually, before we do that, we can break down a couple more things. Now we can upgrade our grimoire to legendary quality +2. And we can upgrade our armor to legendary quality +2. Nice. We almost maxed out all of our equipment. Legendary quality +3 is the max, so we did pretty good there, I think. We can do a little finagling with our upgrade ingredients here. But that doesn't give us any more opportunities. So, there you go. That's as good as we're gonna get, I guess, if there's no other camps, so... luckily, we can just exit to our previous locations. That'll cut down on travel time a little bit. Did you destroy the ruins or cut the Audra connection? I destroyed the ruins. And I also didn't allow Solace Keep to be destroyed. Now, I shut off those earlier. I thought I did. I guess I didn't. How are we gonna do this? Oh, I see another one there. Okay. Oh, and I see another one there. Just gotta wait for my cooldown. You made the same decisions? Oh, cool. Yeah, it sounds like we played the game very similarly. Okay, that shut off that one. Okay, I think we can get through now. I shut off enough that I think I'll be able to navigate this. Yeah! Woo woo! Okay, now we've got a floating rock here. I guess Sopadol's kind of making a path for us, which is helpful. Oh wait, this is just bringing us backwards. No, wait.
Let's take a break.
There was another camp. There was a camp right here. Overlook camp. Interesting. Okay, well, it didn't matter in the end, but good to know. There is actually 2 camps in this area. Alright, I think we're getting close. I see a big Audra pillar up ahead. And a barrier. Before we get there, we got another Megfolk horizon in all caps. I hate this lost fallen form. I hate its feet. I hate its hands. I hate its calves. I hate its thighs. I hate its empty loins. I hate... I hate its solid belly. I hate its metal chest. I hate its clumsy arms. I hate its upturned begging face. I do not want to be this kind of thing I am. Life is a prayer. To resent the will of God function in our design is to withdraw from God. I penalize myself with blows to the belly and the soles of my feet. I is the word for this emanation of God function. We is the word for all the emanations of God function assigned to this task, but the task is done. There's no more pray back. What do we do now? What do I do now? If I cannot do, what can I even be? The Megfolk were going through some existential crises when they were disconnected from Wotica. Holy crap. God damn, that boy loves to hate. That boy hates like he studied Kendrick versus Drake. Hates its hands. Relatable content for Tiffy. Yeah, I can't really comment on the empty loins, but the hands, relatable. Inner complex. Here we are. That is quite the barrier. Yeah.
What else could it be? Time to shut it down forever.
Sounds good.
There's got to be a mechanism somewhere around here.
Yeah, I think it's that thing. Can't believe after all this time we're finally going to release Sopadal's prison. That's pretty crazy. Now, does it look like this is oil to me? What happens if I do this? Oh, nothing. For some reason I thought that would really burn, but maybe it's not oil. We got some spiders here because it's not endgame without spiders. When in doubt, toss a grenade at their face. I hid an almond croissant earlier and I just found it. Now I have something to go with my tea. Yum! Is there anything better than finding a sweet that you tucked away earlier? I mean, like, oh shit, I forgot about this! That is an elite feeling, Kirky. I love that for you. Got more Megfolk up ahead, yep. They're not gonna make this easy. And I mean, realistically, I'd expect nothing less, but... May the 4th be with you as well, Ash. Yes, unfortunately, we're not playing a Star Wars game of any sort today, but I am wearing my Star Wars shirt so I can celebrate. And I hope if you are celebrating May the 4th, you're having a good Star Wars day. Oh. Yeah, this one's called a pristine Megfolk, you're right, and that seems to indicate that he has abilities that the previous iterations did not. You can see he's got that teleport ability, which is something we have not seen before. I guess that's because he's pristine. He wasn't pristine enough, though. He still went down, like all the others.
Nothing like a win with a good team.
Yeah, hell yeah. Nothing like a win with a good team. You're gonna see Thunderbolts after work. Nice. Nice. I've heard great things about Thunderbolts. I gotta be honest, I had no plans to go see it. It just didn't really interest me. But with the rave reviews it's getting, I think I'm gonna change my tune. I think I'm gonna have to go see it. Ah, so we can use that severed Megfolk arm that we picked up there as a lever, which dissipates the barrier.
I never knew I wanted to see something so badly.
Now, do you guys see what I see? I see a whole lot of lizards, I see a whole lot of skeletons, I see a whole lot of Megfolk. Oh my god, there's spiders! This is a whole war! Okay, everything here has been triggered by me taking down the barrier. Interesting. Holy crap! There are so many guys here. This is crazy. Also, where are my companions? Did they just not come down? Because why does it feel like I'm fighting this all on my own? They must still be up there. Thanks, guys. I took on a literal army of creatures all by myself. Thank you. Appreciate that. Alright. Looks like that was just barrier number 1. I think there's a few more we need to dispel here.
We gotta live to tell this tale.
We got another one here. Sapadal's prison. Holy shit, this is cool. We're here. We're here, and there's a whole ass battle happening. I'm honestly gonna leave them to it. Well, I see how I can disable this prison. Gotta be honest, I'm not sure. Maybe we're just gonna have to participate in the battle. And then it will become clear to us. Well, at least we gave them a lot of time for them to beat each other down. We've got a couple more pristine Meg folk here. Get some dinner before or after the movie. Nice. Yeah, we're actually meeting up with a friend of ours for dinner later, so honestly, hopefully the game doesn't take too much longer. I've got about another hour or so that I can stream. So hopefully we'll get everything done within the next hour. Alright, these things are insanely powerful. Holy crap. Oh. You hit that Megfolk in an interesting pose there. It gets better. You found a chocolate bar? Kirky, you're gonna have the ultimate cup of tea right now. With all of the sweets. I love that for you. Oh god. Okay, I see how we dispel the barrier. I think we're gonna need to defeat both of these guys so we can use their arms as levers again. So there was no way around this battle, unfortunately. Summon some meteors. Summon you. Now Kirky just needs to find some more rare cards. Yeah, Kirky. Hopefully the sweet luck will translate to Pokemon card luck. Where the hell did the lizards come from? Oh no. This is... holy crap. This is a tough battle right here. There's an insane amount of enemies. There's skeletons here now. Okay. Are we done? I think we might be done. That got pretty hectic. Wow. And yes, we got another Megfolk arm there. And presumably the one over here has one for us too. Yeah. Now let's see. Can we use those arms in this machine and dispel the next barrier? That's one. That's two. And that did it! Oh shit! After thousands of years, Sapadal's prison is open. It's time to make our decision, I guess, on how we're gonna deal with her. This is the moment we've all been waiting for. Luckily, I've got magic floaty steps to get me up here. To the great pillar of Audra that presumably is containing Sapadal's spirit. This is pretty cool. Here we go.
At last you see our prison, the place where we have suffered. You are so small, we questioned if you were real. Then steps, a voice, through armies and corrupted soil, you persevered. Now, you are here.
Now that's a big mama. I love how one of the first things she said to me was I was so small. Like, okay. Yes, I'm here to stop the Dream Scourge. There's not much time.
The rot. We feel it festering and spreading. What is it but an extension of our pain? Your Dream Scourge will end when our suffering does. We were innocent once. We woke, and we wanted nothing but connection. But the other gods imprisoned us, left us to suffer alone in this place. We refuse to remain caged. Release us. The Strangler is close now. We feel her wire against our flesh.
You mean Wodica?
She begs for our blood. Her wolves defile the city on the shore.
Wait. What are you trying to tell me?
The prey flees, hides. Talons carve a sentence in our skin. She strikes us now. Now! Pluck her out! We must be free of her! A spark. Wait. The essence bends here. Time flows into itself. You can reach her. Will the garden to open, it will take you there.
Hang on. You're saying you can send my body across the living lands? Even an archmage couldn't do that.
A wellspring of power. We strain, but we could clear the way.
I mean, I guess God beats archmage in the hierarchy of magical power.
What have we lost?
But okay, it seems like while we've been in the garden,
We could run
Wodica,
in the water.
Ludwin, and the Steel Garrote are attacking Paradise. We need to talk about what you did, Sopadal.
We have been thinking of your lessons. We have learned
God,
from
paper,
the
scissors.
fire in your heart. We are owed for what they did. Let us rend our foes, burn them as she burned us.
I mean, the first one's wrong. They do deserve the fire. They are just as awful as Sopadal. Number 2 indicates that we're going to let Sopadal free to burn them, though, which we're not going to do. I'll just say number 3. You know better than this, Sopadal. The last time you tried to fight back, you couldn't control your powers and you killed everyone around you.
We know you would have chosen differently. You met death and imposed the law of mortals.
To be fair, I thought they would treat Igwil fairly, the guy who assassinated me. I thought they would give him a fair trial. I was wrong. They just hung him.
Nothing in this universe is fair. You taught us this.
I mean, yeah, touche.
We seek to change this. Make this land better. Let us have our justice, our vengeance.
I can't let you continue the cycle of violence, Sopadal. I would never forgive myself.
But you would accept the risk of so many dying in a city that time will forget? Let us free! We will not ask again. We want them to suffer as we did. We want to make them pay.
And let me guess, how many innocents will die while you do that, right?
Warm in our throats. We deserve it.
Sabadell's not making a very good case
As
here
the bear did.
for us releasing her. Like, I feel like she's not being persuasive in the slightest. What the fuck are you talking about, though? The bear.
We asked what you would do with an animal that sickened after a fight. Do you remember what you said?
I'm not here to debate philosophy with you, Sapadal. None of this matters. I'm here to end the Dream Scourge.
Yes, we long for this too. The time has come for you to act. End our pain, and the Dream Scourge will cease. Let us free. We will rain fury on our enemies and shield our lands once more.
Yeah, until you have a tantrum and then destroy your lands again. Like, freedom or destruction? Is there really no other way?
Perhaps there may be another path.
Is God therapy a path after all?
What if the bear's spirit came to inhabit another's flesh?
Huh?
Unity.
Oh, no. No, 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 no. No.
Become one.
Are you saying you want to merge our souls?
We could guide you. We could care for you. You would never be desolate again.
Interesting. I've said multiple times I really wanted an option C. This is not what I had in mind. This is absolutely not what I had in mind.
To live.
Yeah, I have a feeling merging a mortal soul with a god's soul is not going to be a fair merge. I have a feeling it'll be 99% Sapadal, 1% me. Yeah, as much as I appreciate that they are giving me a third option, Ash makes a great point. It's literally like the synthesis ending from Mass Effect 3 all over again. This isn't what I wanted. This isn't gonna work either. While I understand Sapadal's anger, what Wodika has done and continues to do is absolutely disgusting and awful. Releasing Sapadal from the prison isn't going to fix things. She might be able to push back Wodika, and then God knows she'll throw a temper tantrum and kill everyone around. And or she'll kill everyone around anyway, just as a casualty of her battle with Wodika. She can't be trusted. That's been long established. Nothing she said here has changed my mind in the slightest. As much as I would have liked a third option, I don't like this third option either. As TS says, I think the merging would be more like possession, if anything. I can't trust that I would have any control over Sapadal in my body. I don't think Sapadal is a bad god. I don't think she has evil intentions, but too many casualties have arisen as a result of her reckless use of her power. And as I've said time and time again, I think the ultimate solution in this world is to just have a world without gods. Fuck the gods, fuck Sapadal, fuck Wodika. They're all too powerful, they don't care about mortals, and in the end they're too dangerous to be let free. Her intents aren't malicious, but her actions sure as hell are. So while I appreciate here, if I worked with Sapadal, apparently she could portal me to Paradise and I could maybe get there quicker to stop the Steel Garrote. I mean, whatever's happening there is happening. We'll get there when we get there. It's unfortunate, but I think the only real option we have here is to destroy Sapadal.
Stop this! Stop!
I'm sorry, if that helps.
Bars become walls, stone, emptiness.
I wish there was another way, but I just don't think there is.
Press, bones shatter. We cannot breathe. Please.
Well, we leveled up, level 29, and we got a new godlike ability, Wodika's Call. So, apparently, by killing Sapadal, that got us Wodika's favor. I don't love that. We now have a new ability where we can call forth a Megfolk ally that erupts from the earth to smite my enemies. Yeah, I don't want that. I don't want to use any god's power, but okay, apparently we get that. But there you go. Was it that easy? I thought we'd have to like fight Soppadal, but I destroyed her that easily? It feels a little anticlimactic, to be 100% honest with you. We just killed a god that easily? The hell is this? I love my face. My face is the embodiment of what the hell is this right now. My character's face. What is happening? Oh shit. What? Did I absorb Soppadal's power? Yo. The vessel was destroyed, but the power was not? Oh, fuck. I guess I'm a god now? Holy shit. Okay, I figured when we destroyed Soppadal, her power would just, you know, like, dissipate. Apparently I absorbed it? I think I just became a god. We created a portal.
Are we back in Dawnshore? Already?
Wow.
It must have taken an incredible power. Beyond all mortal understanding. How do you feel?
Never mind that. What happened to Paradise?
Looks like the war already started, and the giant roots are winning.
Marius, vines don't usually get that big this quickly, do they?
Based on their growth and size, I'd say we've been gone 2 or 3 weeks.
Oh, damn. I forgot about the temporal distortion. Time flowed quicker in the garden. Giada was right.
For once, I wish I wasn't. Who knows if the garden affected time, or merely our perception of time? Assuming there's even a difference.
It's like how a body fights an infection. The fever gives you strange dreams that feel like an eternity.
Look at this place. Feels like we're still in the dream. And not just us. Those are more your people's ships in the harbor, and steel garrote banners past the barricades. That can't be good.
Even Reingrim is here. Perhaps we'll get to see an Archmage in action.
I think I see Elia as well. What a strange reunion this will be.
The Blessed Wardens are here too. That conflict we've been trying so hard to prevent started without us.
This is interesting because you know what I'm thinking? Now that I have the power of a god, maybe we can stop Woedica. Maybe we get best case scenario here, and we actually do get my ideal situation where all the gods are gone. We killed Soppadal and absorbed her power. Maybe we can use that power to kill Woedica. Euros says, holy shit, that all played out so entirely different from mine. Really? That's awesome. If you don't mind, you want to tell us how your game played out? Honestly, I'm interested to know how the choices played out. It's good to know that your choices and your decisions actually have meaningful consequences and change your ending. That's actually interesting. But Tiff, you did not rid the world of gods, you instead became the god. Hopefully I can, like, honestly, if there's an option at the end to just sort of, like, vent my power, I will. I guess we'll see how this all plays out. Why do I get the feeling that Ludwin is responsible for all this?
Because she probably is.
The Steel Garrote have been itching for a fight this whole time. This would have happened with or without us. This is like a drunken bar fight, just with a ton more people on both sides, and one of them led by a walking skeleton.
Before we go, what happened back there with the Dream Scourge and Soppadal?
Yeah, this is interesting. So we didn't actually get a boss battle against Soppadal, which is interesting. I figured we would actually have to fight her, but I suppose, as TS insinuates, Ludwin's probably the final boss. And presumably she'll be empowered by Wodaka. Sopadal's gone forever, and the Dream Scourge with them.
Glad the Dream Scourge is over, but I can't help but think killing a god will have consequences.
I'm sure it wasn't easy, but I think that's for the best, Envoy.
I can't believe Sapadal is gone. For better or worse, the spiritual health of the living lands depended on them. What now?
We took out the Dream Scourge and Sapadal in one fell swoop. Quite impressive, really.
I don't even know what the right answer is here. We'll go with the Arcane Scholar answer. War has a mind of its own. No one will care about what we've done. Clearly they're caught up in their own little battle. They've forgotten about the Dream Scourge, I think.
You've saved the soul of the living lands. Now the survivors fight over its bones. We should take a look. See if we can get ahead of whatever storm is brewing down there.
People seem to be gathering west of here. Whatever's happening, let's be a part of it.
Oh, interesting. Okay, Euro had a very, very different ending. Euro says, I never felt too strongly about Sopadal in my game, so all of our convos were like me teaching a kid. I spared my killer, saved the ruins, and saved the dwarf castle. My conversation with Sopadal there then played out with me talking Sopadal down, and she accepted following my lead, essentially. I freed her, and she teleported me here. Interesting. So all of the conversations that you had, not just the major decisions, end up making a difference at the end with how reasonable or unreasonable Sopadal is. Honestly, I like that. I like that the ending, while they have their sort of A, B, C choices, there's also some nuance to how Sopadal acts depending on how you acted in the game. That's very interesting and good to know, and makes me definitely want to replay at some point and choose different. Yeah, finally some shades of gray. That's what I've wanted this whole time. At least 50 of them. All right, we'll put some points into meteor showers such that meteors break on impact, leaving lingering flames on the ground. And now we've got another main story quest. So the game is not over yet, folks. We have the Siege of Paradise to contend with. The Steel Garrote have laid siege to Paradise. Someone needs to end the fighting one way or another. We need to speak with the leaders of the living lands. Some of the local authorities from the living lands have made camp outside of the city, and they might know more about the situation.
Sansa, how did you make it out here?
Hi, Envoy! Oh, the good. They marched in with no warning. I couldn't think. I just ran.
Easy. You're here now. Where did they come from?
Envoy! What does the Garrote think they're doing?
Whatever it takes to show Paradise they're in charge.
What's the point of exploring if you just want to plant your flag everywhere?
How did you escape?
I took my notes and bolted when they came through Hightown. They didn't think I was worth the trouble.
Right now, that's a good thing.
If you're looking for survivors, a few of us fled to the Balrog.
How many?
I'm not sure. I saw Sapiento. Gods, I hope they're not trapped in there. I am sorry I can't be more help.
Just take care of yourself and don't get killed.
I won't give them the satisfaction of killing me.
We should move. Let's hope the Garrote hasn't made it to the Balrog yet.
Envoy, wait! Before you go, I may have something for you.
The height difference between Sansa and Kai is
If you think they're elves, they're
huge.
yours. I'll even give you a discount.
You're not even gonna give them to
saving
me
the
for
city and
free?
everything.
Wow. It can't hurt to look, I guess. What do you have? I'll take all your potions. And I mean, I guess this is the last opportunity for us to spend any money we have, honestly. Probably makes the most sense. First of all, I'll sell all this stuff that I'm not using. Probably makes the most sense for us to spend money on upgrade materials. We've got a bunch of that. We don't have a lot of these. Yeah, let's just buy all the upgrade materials to upgrade our weapons. Okay, yeah, some people made it out alright, thankfully. Looks like Ringrim's here. Her specialty is really making scary ice faces, isn't it? Jeez Louise. Hey!
We meet again, Envoy. Paradise burns, thanks to Ludwine and the Steel Garrote laying siege to it. But the Dream Scourge is gone.
What are you doing here?
I bear witness. Heroes and villains will arise from this moment in mortal history. I find such occasions irresistible.
Fair enough, I guess.
You mortals know that nothing you do truly matters, and yet you try, over and over again. Still, I do think the world has been irrevocably, if minimally, changed by your actions.
Also, is she insinuating that she's not immortal? I mean, I know she's a being of immense power. She's an archmage, but I didn't realize that affected her mortality. I mean, I gotta be honest, I don't really care how much I've changed the world. The Dream Scourge is gone, at least, right? That's what we came here for. Although I do agree with Meerkat, a god is dead. How is that minimal?
It is indeed. I'll admit, I almost miss it. The mystery, the days of research. Now we're back to simple mortal drama.
Okay, so you're saying I only minimally changed the world even though I killed a god?
Empires die, legends are forgotten. Sorry, but you mortals truly are inconsequential in the long run.
Okay, a single drop of rain can cause a tsunami, can it not?
A tsunami inevitably rejoins the ocean as simple water.
How many times is she gonna tell us she's not immortal? Jesus Christ.
And I'm not.
Okay. What is it you're trying to say?
Envoy, please. You know there's no point lying to me. I'm here because I'm curious about what you'll do in this moment.
Wow. It gave me 5 dialogue options, and in the end, you can't proceed unless you choose the first one. I made it so that Sapadal is gone. That is world-changing.
The end of a god is a complicated thing. It may take centuries for the repercussions to fully reveal themselves. Mostly, I'm curious about whether you think you've made the right choice.
The decision I made was what felt correct in that moment.
Wise answer, that.
Thank you.
I am interested in seeing the outcome of your story, Envoy. With luck, it won't end with you also on fire.
Yeah, well, I hope it ends in a long nap after some excellent food, because I've deserved it after this long journey.
Mortal comforts are so very adorable. All you desire.
She's getting on my nerves. Mortal. Okay, you're better than us. Bye. Jesus Christ. Little does she know I have the power of a god inside me.
I am eager to work.
Yeah, she's really rubbed me the wrong way right now.
I look forward to working with you.
Very punchable, that's for sure. Jesus Christ. Alright. We get it. You're powerful. Whatever. This is not a dick measuring contest. Okay, well, that was Ringrim. Yeah, who do we have up here? The Conclave camp. Oh, the dwarves! They actually left Gallowayne's tusks. Not a great time to visit Paradise, but nice to see that they didn't stay in Solace Keep. That's really nice to see, actually. This is what we needed from the dwarves. For them to open up their society a little bit. I don't see... I was looking for their councilwoman. I don't see her here, though. She must be down with the other leaders, perhaps.
Oh, Envoy. How good to see you here as we stand together at the brink of this historic event. I don't know if thank you is precisely what I want to say, but I am grateful to you for bringing Dolna's theft to light. Paradise burns from the torches of the Steel Garrote. The people of the Living Lands stand ready to defend their home.
Will you be recording today's events for the archives?
Yes. What happens in Paradise now will decide the fate of the Parkrunen after all.
What's the plan if Paradise falls?
We will find a way to persevere. We Parkrunen have a gift for surviving inhospitable conditions, and always have. Whatever the outcome of the upcoming battle, do not forget us. I fear that more than our deaths. If Edir and the Steel Garrote have their way, they'll strip the history books of any mention of our culture and our ways. Future generations will only ever know us as an appendage of the Empire. I hope it doesn't come to that.
I mean, even if Adir triumphs, I will ensure our historians do their duty.
It is all I can ask for. That's as much as I'll say. You have a role in deciding what happens next. Do the right thing, Envoy. Let history remember you for the correct reasons.
Look who we have over here. This is a familiar face with her minions.
Envoy, I knew you'd show up eventually.
It's good to see a familiar face. How are you?
My revenants were just getting comfortable in Thirdborn when the Steel Garrote stepped out of line. When I heard tensions were brewing, I thought to myself, this is a job for the undead. So I gathered the flock.
Good thinking. Nice to see you, Elia.
Likewise. I'll keep them on a tight leash, just in case the Steel Garrote breach our defenses. Better to have them and not need them. Oh, and I've been meaning to thank you. Whatever you did in the garden seems to have worked. My revenants are docile again. No more rude displays of aggression. I couldn't be more proud.
Meerkat asks, how are they still here if the Dream Scourge is gone? So they were clearly infected by the Dream Scourge. You can see the growths on their body, but the fact that they're undead wasn't from the Dream Scourge. It was actually from her use of animancy. These things are called revenants, which are mindless undead who hunger for living flesh, but she can actually control them. So that's why they're different than just infected Dream Scourged beasts. She's actually controlling them with animancy. Now we just need to try our best to keep the Living Lands from descending into war, although I think it may be too late for that.
Easier said than done, I suppose. Best of luck out there. And don't worry about a thing. My flock will keep us safe and secure.
Maybe you could trim their weird mushrooms while you're at it. Now remember, Tiff, as part of your UK citizens test, you need to rehome their artifacts just in case they get wiped out. Right, and then open my own museum. Hello, wow, there's so many familiar faces as you walk by here. You just see familiar face after familiar face.
Envoy, how did you...
Everyone has come to Paradise, apparently, from all corners of the Living Lands.
See you again, but where the fuck did you come from?
Okay. Let's see what I can do here. Fatal error. Yeah, the game did crash. Okay. Very funny time for the game to crash. Let me reboot. Sorry, guys. Give me a second. How the fuck did you get here? Game says, I don't know. Crashes. Okay. Let's try that again. That was so weird. Oh, did the stream crash too? Maybe my computer hiccuped. Literally, the last thing I saw was the woman said, "How the fuck did you get here?" And then the game crashed, and I guess it must have actually hiccuped my entire computer if you guys lost me for a second. But, yeah, that was kind of funny timing, honestly. Oops. Let's try that again. It did for you? Yeah, I mean, maybe it was my whole computer hiccuped, not just the game. It's very funny timing when she said, "Where the fuck did you come from?" Luckily, it auto-saved just before we talked to her. I gotta be honest, I'm scared to talk to her now. Maybe it's gonna crash everything. Let's just move to the next one. Sorry, lady, you had your 5 minutes of fame and you crashed my entire stream, so we're moving on. Audio and video are out of sync on your end? Is it the same for any of you guys? It looks okay on my end. I don't see any dropped frames. How was that? Is it still out of sync? I don't know how it came out of sync. I'll probably have to restart stream and start it again. I don't know if that's me or if it's Twitch, because it looks fine on my end. It's behind? Okay, I guess I'll